Hey everyone.
What up, motherfuckers?
You always, you always scare the shit out of me, John.
Do
Hey,
what?
everyone.
You always scare the shit out of me when you.
Oh,
Hello, hello.
Hi, boys.
Hi. Oh my gosh, you're Mike. You're sitting there smoking like Karen Silkwood.
I thought about that. I'm like, man, they're all chain smokers in that film.
Yeah.
My gosh,
From what I
really
remember,
Like
yeah.
constantly smoking all the time.
Yes, every scene.
Smoky Smokersons there.
There was
It's
there
a
was
Smoking with
deliberate.
plutonium.
there was smoking.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
There
I'm
was
sure it's a
one scene where
deliberate
she
setup.
wasn't, and it threw me off because every other scene she has a cigarette in her fingers.
1 terabyte iPhone Air.
Oops.
Hold on.
I don't know.
What? Who, huh?
One
But I'm sure there's a deliberate setup though. Surely, even back then, it can't be normal to have a smoky lunchroom. Everyone just baking in the cigarettes.
Well,
So,
I also feel like I'm a classier smoker. So if you all look in the comments, this would be me sitting there on my couch watching TV with my cigarette holder and my fancy outfit.
your safety outfit.
well, luckily we were able to watch it today.
Well,
We'd already seen
I
my own
also feel like I'm a classier smoker. So if you all look in the comments, this would be me
Right.
sitting there on my couch watching TV.
Hold on one second. We've got YouTube going.
I was gonna say, do we have a little delay?
Oh, it's going on.
On some
Mike's a ventriloquist.
It's going on, buddy.
Hey guys, it's Brad. I'm actually in my house. Nice to see everybody.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Brad.
You
Zach, I hope you.
survived.
Pardon?
You survived the wilderness.
Yes. It was fun other than the mosquitoes.
There's always a mosquito.
Testing 1, 2.
I read that if you put coffee in a container and light it up and start burning, it apparently repel mosquitoes.
Or you
does?
Yeah.
I've never heard of
Coffee.
it.
Yeah, I never heard that myself.
fire
we just had big fires.
I smelled it.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
And you're getting taxed for it.
How funny.
repels most things. People, bears.
Yeah, that's true. Zach,
right.
are you sharing that licorice?
it's not licorice, it's sweetheart ropes. We usually
What the hell is that?
Oh, I
at the
never
movie
heard of
theater,
it.
but they're real good.
What is it?
Yeah, just sweethearts turned into like a gummy rope, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
But
cute.
it's yeah.
More things to kill you.
I hope everybody's having a
The corner of my eye, Zach looked like he was a little bit stoned and having munchies, to be perfectly honest.
I figure if we're talking movies, I'll have my movie snack with us.
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta have a movie snack.
Well, Brad said licorice. Who here actually likes licorice?
Well, I hate licorice.
That was actually
Red.
in one of your videos, Alistair. I noticed you like black licorice, which is rare. I'm a big black licorice person myself.
Oh,
I love a good
disgusting.
black licorice.
No,
I know
I-
so many people say that, and I do love black licorice. Right?
Love it.
Only time I like it is
Me
if
too,
there's this
right.
drink that you can dissolve salted black licorice candy in vodka and drink it.
Oh.
It's called a schmalyaki. I learned about it in
Ugh.
Denmark. You kind of love it and you hate it at the same time. So that's the only time I can have it.
So gross. So
Sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it's nasty.
It is, but it's so good.
Bringing
It's so
liquor-
good.
Power to the
Alistair-
black licorice people, Alistair. I'm with you.
Alistair, I like licorice. Brad likes licorice as well. I don't have any at the moment though, for some reason.
I like Sambuca too.
Yes.
Thank you. I was wondering. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my God, Sambuca. Oh
No.
God.
Make your
Nightmare.
shit turn green though.
Well, you can't find them
You're-
anywhere.
If you're concerned.
Okay, so I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. We're here for the movie club. Because we've got a lot of people here today. We're gonna if there's a lot of chatting going on, then we're gonna go into the hand system, right? Let everybody speak, stuff like that. We can do it. And today we had movies, Silkwood, we had My Own Private Idaho, and Flesh. And we just got done watching. We watched Silkwood and Flesh back to back, which was an experience.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I did
An
Combination.
double feature.
Yeah, it was a crazy.
I did
double
flesh
feature.
in Silkwood.
Well, I was looking at it, and I forgot that we did the wheel system, so it made sense why we did it. Because at first I was like, well, why didn't we pick like another, like movie that goes with like Flesh and My Own Private Idaho? But then I realized we did that system. So we're gonna start with Silkwood, and then we'll go into the other ones. Who all watched it?
Brad
I've
did.
seen it, but I haven't watched it recently, guys. A busy week. So,
It's a crazy case.
and I knew I have a vague memory of knowing about Karen Silkwood whenever that
Same.
happened. Read it somewhere. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Never
It's
heard of it.
it's amazing how many people were in that show that became stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I noticed. There's so many like actors in the
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
actresses in that movie.
I wasn't sure when, like, how many of them were already famous at the time. I know Meryl Streep was. That was her first
Yep.
Oscar
Mhm.
nomination. So she was already famous. Cher was already obviously famous, but like,
Kurt Russell was.
yeah.
Kurt
But had
Russell was
Cher
a
done
star.
movies
Perfect.
before this?
Cher
Was
had
it?
no.
Oh.
I don't think Cher had a movie before this one. This was
No,
the
this
first
is her
one.
first one.
Yeah,
I think I read that she
yes.
was really
Cher-
nervous making this movie
but
because
she
it's
had
with
her
Meryl
show.
Streep and yeah.
There was also the case of when the opening credits were playing in the theaters, when the people saw her name, decided to laugh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Started
yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
She got a lot of critique. I feel like they
Especially
shouldn't
like
have their
this-
names in the beginning of the movie. Like I feel like people wouldn't have even realized it's her at first because she looks very
On Cher, like.
different.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
very
especially, I
witty.
mean, I know you guys are like a lot of youngins, but like I remember like Sonny and Cher, and she looked
Mhm.
100% different than what she looked like in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
very
Craig
80s
T.
hair.
Craig T. Nelson he had been in some stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Emma
He had just done,
Walsh.
yeah,
I think Poltergeist came out the year before this, so he
it did.
would have been known
Oh
for
yeah,
that.
right, 82. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was what was interesting about his character, though, was he was playing so against type. He's usually played so many likable characters, but in this
Yeah.
one he was not likable at all. So it's like, yeah, it was an interesting casting of him. So
Well, he's also like really intense in his movies sometimes, like he's doing a lot. In this one, he was like not doing anything. He was acting very opposite everybody else, and everybody else was like very busy and doing things all the time, and he just would just stand there, and it was real
Yeah.
cool.
And when Kurt Russell punched him at the end of the movie, you're like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but he punched him, and then he like kind of
He ran
you
off.
know,
And then he ran off. It was so funny.
he took his cool factor down. a
Like he
couple
was so
points
scared.
because of the way he ran off. Yeah, even
know.
when he was driving away, he was looking back like he was scared.
Yeah.
yeah,
He's a Disney
Awesome.
kid. Come on.
How does it feel like? Because not being an American, I watched it and I got so angry. I was talking to Eric about it. How does it feel like being actually in America? Like what?
What do you mean, like with
What-
plutonium in all our water?
Yeah.
No, but I often talk about Donald Trump is just the latest reveal of what
Yeah.
underneath this inequality existed in the world. But like living through that time, was it a thing? Or because looking from outside back in the 80s, 90s, always think about America as this land of the free, amazing place, blah blah blah. But did it feel something was wrong back then or was it just a
I don't think people knew what it was.
Yeah.
They had no idea
No,
what
yeah.
plutonium or any of that kind of stuff would do to you. I mean, it was the same thing with what's her name? That other movie in California,
Brockovich.
Erin Brockovich. It was the same way in Kansas City. They had a company that had been making stuff for years, like war parts and stuff for bombs and planes and stuff. And people started dying that had worked there originally, and I couldn't figure out why. And then they found out that they had all this groundwater and stuff that had been going on for years. So they had to shut the place down, and it'll never be clean again. Just like that place in Oklahoma where she was. That's
But-
still contaminated to this
Yeah,
day.
they've got groundwater.
But it's not just the toxicity, right? It's the inequality of the power structure, how corporation
Well,
can.
Here's the thing. I think we've been trained a lot back in those days, I think people trusted the company 100%.
Yeah.
Everything that happened bad to somebody happened somewhere else in another country, that the other country was actually acting against their citizens. And the Americans were led to believe that the country would never act against them. You can trust the system and everything. So it's a kind of you ignoring I want to use Al Gore's vocabulary here. You're ignoring an unconventional truth. An inconvenient
Inconvenient
truth.
truth.
Inconvenient truth. So if it goes against what you believe, you can no, that can never be, and you just continue ignoring it. The same thing happened like a couple of years ago, Flint, Michigan, that whole water supply thing.
Oh my God.
Water.
I mean, look how bad that was, and look how quickly it just disappeared.
And
You
it's
never heard
still
any
bad, though. Like,
resolution
they're
from
still
it.
dealing
Well,
with that,
yeah.
you know?
Well, but
Anson,
I think what Chris is talking about is the, and which is common, because I think our Tom had a lot of that when he first moved here too, was the concept that outside the country, it feels like America is this, place on a hill. It's wonderful. You go there, all this, kind of great stuff. I think time period is important, Chris, is the time period that Silkwood happened was when our country made that transition. So a lot of the stuff you're talking about erupted under Reagan, because Reagan was the first one that pushed this trickle down economics thing. It's also when the Christian coalition became really powerful. Up until that point, we were riding off of a lot of what Roosevelt had done, and where he changed and really tried to take care of people. But the huge income equality happened under Reagan. And that's where we got to today, because that has just exploded. Because back then you did have companies that you worked for and you had a pension, and they did take care of their employees. And there's many stories of that, but that changed in the 80s, and it's where things have gotten worse, and it's where people have started to. But the problem is many people are still sold this idea of American dream. You just work hard and you'll have everything. And that isn't really the case anymore, because of the fact that these companies have changed that paragraph, and it was all really fighting against what Roosevelt did to save the country out of the Depression. He altered things. It was one of the reasons he was elected 4 times, was because of the fact that he actually, as a rich person, as a rich president, altered and took care of people, and people loved him for it. And the Republican structure and the wealthy have been fighting against that and dismantling that ever since. That's why they want to get rid of social services. That's why they want to get rid of all of these things, because they want money.
It's all socialism.
do you remember
But
Love Canal?
It's interesting. All 3
Yes.
movies, to me, is the outsider throughout the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. These are all the underclass that lurking underneath this American dream. This sort of so-called amazing sort of society has always had this underclass, and in fact, they define the American, sort of spirit in more ways than the rich and the famous, because those are the heroes or anti-heroes that we saw in these 3 movies that really fought about freedom, right? I mean, to an extent, you can talk about Flash as kind of, bohemian, but I just find it fascinating how you chose these 3 movies to underline, what America is today.
In
it's
the
so
middle
different.
part of the country at those times, there was no money. People would do anything to have a job to pay their bills every week. So they took jobs like that.
That's what I was telling
money
him, is like, that's why
constantly.
everybody would be so angry about like the possibility of this plant breaking down, because this job probably provided benefits and stuff like that. And if they didn't have that in these small
Didn't have
towns,
anything.
then they were off working at a diner, across the way. And diner's not going to give you the benefits that
Alistair has his hand up, guys.
A question
you,
from the
Rory.
back.
Well, it's kind of going off of what you're saying, is that back then and even now, because we'll drive through communities like this, a lot of communities were upheld by big companies, big manufacturing companies, and not only that, like even the diners and other businesses, were there because of that company.
Supported by the
Because who are they
businesses,
serving? The people who work at that company.
Right.
And
Does
so
anyone
some of
remember
them are
Love
angry, though,
Canal?
that they don't have
Sorry.
job options if the company shuts down and leaves.
But some of those companies, you had to spend your money at their stuff. You had to spend your money at their stores and at their, so the money never really went anywhere, but they paid you and you just give it back to them. So, and yes, I remember Love Canal, Rory.
Yeah.
And
Where
3
was Love
Mile
Canal?
Island, and
It would be interesting to see what happened to that community because at the end it said that the plant closed a year later.
Yeah,
So what did actually happen there
it
afterwards?
crumbled.
It's like
It's
Zach was saying. There's still groundwater there now. It's still you can't use it. You can't do anything with it, so you can't
There's people
build.
there, though.
So
It's-
I'm
So who
wondering
knows?
be cleaned up. I was watching something about it, like a recent news sort of report about it, and it's supposed to be cleaned up by like 2030 or something. I mean, it'll probably get extended, but it's I wouldn't trust living there. But then, recently there's 15 houses in that area that have just been built, and
Yeah,
so people are
they
moving
said
back.
the ground was fine. It was just underneath the ground that was the
I still
problem.
wouldn't even trust it though. I just like
Exactly.
it's because they're gonna sell you whatever they're gonna sell you, right? And it is interesting how different it is now because while we've still got a lot of stupidity, right? But we also have all of the information at our fingertips. Where back then, you waited until somebody higher up told you the information, and all the information kind of trickled down to you through the news or through the company, right? Like a lot of those people in those meetings were like, "Yeah, nobody told us about cancer." Well, today you can look that shit up and you can figure that out yourself, right? But at the time, you're relying on your bosses to tell you that, hey, yeah, like this shit can seep through your coveralls and you can get cancer from all this, right? And it's
You
crazy that
you
we have so much information at our fingertips, and you still have people who are total fucking idiots.
I know we have the most information we can have at any
Yeah.
time, and yet people feel like it's getting stupider and stupider.
There's
We
so
also
much of
have
this.
the
If it
most
doesn't
disinformation.
affect me, then I don't worry about it. And that's so stupid.
I'm a bit listening to all that. I just kind of feel, how did you guys allow so much of those trusts to be in? Like you talk about benefit with the company, like all these things shouldn't be allowing in that kind of structure. The country should be taking over some of that healthcare.
Well,
Like
when we came back from World War II, they gave everybody jobs, and we were building houses, and we were building homes, and we were building factories, and everybody was involved, and we were doing it all with the idea that it was all on the up and up because these soldiers were supposed to be given the best of everything, and somehow all this trust and all this stuff that was going on ended up. It's what you're asking about. So
corporation become the big daddy. Corporation become like. I mean, I'm still amazed that you guys are so against public healthcare. Like, I don't get it. I really don't understand.
Don't say all of us.
Sorry.
Well, because it's lucrative, Chris. It's lucrative.
It's
I mean,
money.
It's all about
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the
Money.
same thing. It's
money.
the same reason we don't have widespread, public transport is because
Mhm.
of the auto industry. It's like there's so many big businesses that just they are not going to let that go. And this country is real big on like states' rights. You have a lot of people who are just really fighting for states' rights, right? And there's pros and cons to both sides of that. But like a big thing is some of these states don't manage themselves very, very, very well. Like Oklahoma is not a well-managed state. I don't think it's gorgeous. My
It's a
gosh,
beautiful
I
state.
loved living in Oklahoma, but it's so poorly managed and like roads are terrible and and you've got all these little towns who are just relying on this big fucking like back in this story relying on this big business to really keep it
it was funny
thriving.
when
you got Tiger King.
No.
when they left Oklahoma and they were driving to Texas, they were playing the music from like Deliverance. I was like, you're going to Texas. What are you playing that shit for? It's like, what's wrong with you?
For me, because I'm older, it just reminded me that humanity hasn't changed. Like if you go back through history, the pyramids were built by slaves, by owners who thought. And then you think of the creation of the unions in Europe, right? And the coal mining, how coal mining came. Everybody knew it was bad for everybody, but so it just seems like we don't really progress, although we think we progress. Humans' minds stay unfortunately similar. And then you have a look at how the world was convinced and through the pandemic with COVID, how easily people were swayed. I remember, like, even when you think about COVID, not picking on the vaccines, but just I heard conversations like, we got to intern people who aren't getting vaccines. Well, we had just paid a big reparation in Canada to the Japanese who we interned and put in prison camps during World War II, right after Japan.
Yeah.
And I thought, Jesus, how stupid can you be? Well, we could be pretty stupid.
We
Yeah,
are
and
a
Because
that's a
when this
species.
happened, because Silkwood, Karen, the Karen Silkwood thing happened in '74, and
Mm.
right before that, in the early '70s, is when the EPA,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Environmental Protection Agency, started coming up, and around the '70s is where a lot of the bad stuff started popping up, which
Yes,
is why they started why they came up with the EPA,
right.
where they started
Nixon did that because
enforcing
of
it.
part of, sorry, John, because of the Cuyahoga River
The
in,
Cuyahoga, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Nixon,
caught on fire
Cleveland.
twice.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
the
Even
EPA was
even the
very angry.
movie itself is still showing some really interesting pattern of the power of the company. Because if you watch it, like I was watching it, thinking through the way they depicted Karen and the way they show the story, they try so hard to be, neutral to the company because they depict her as, some loose woman. She can't be trusted at the beginning, and then at the end, they didn't really sort of assert any like. It's still leaving you doubt about, oh, maybe she did like. It's even the way they try so hard not to criticize, even though they are,
You're
but
saying
leaving.
the movie was trying hard not to criticize?
Yeah, the
See,
movie was.
I read it completely differently, I think. I
Yeah.
think it was like a pretty nuanced depiction just to me. I thought that they were doing something pretty progressive for the time, right? Showing a woman who didn't have custody of her kids, but not blaming her for it. She can sleep with her boyfriend, right? And they don't have to be married. They don't have to. Their whole relationship is a will or won't they? And I don't know. I thought they did a really great job with it. There's another movie that came out like a few years before with Jane Fonda. Oh my God, China Syndrome, or yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, there was a lot of these movies being made, and this is how people were getting that sort of information
And then 3 Mile
understanding.
Island happened in real life then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and that was
Didn't
the kind of the style of filmmaking in the '70s was that much more realistic approach. And I agree with you,
Gritty.
Zach, that was what made how they did her character, because instead of like, oh, we need to take the bad stuff out and try to make her like a heroine kind of a thing, they didn't. They portrayed her as very flawed and very
Warts and all.
realistic, which was a
Warts and all,
common
yeah.
thing in the '70s. This kind of like imperfect hero, kind of but she had strong morals, even though she had all this other stuff that she was so screwed up on. Her in situations, she had the strong morals there and brave enough to stand up against,
Well, and I
the
think,
behemoth of that
yeah, I
company.
think it's really interesting that you read it like that, Chris. I'm curious, did anybody else read it like that?
You know what? I don't want to change the topic, but what I noticed the most was how similar it seemed to Aaron Brockovich, or how
Yeah,
you say it. Yeah,
there's a
like
lot of that.
even the tone of the filming, it was kind of darker, like throughout, and like I just thought, oh, that's and the same female role, a similar role, like so. Yeah, I think they really mimicked each other.
I think where it differs from Aaron Brockovich is we go into Aaron Brockovich knowing that this is going to be a woman who's going to take down everybody, right? Like
Yeah,
she's set
yeah.
up like that from pretty much the start. And with this one, we're like, it's very small town roots. Like Karen Silkwood is a small town girl, and she is like you don't go into that movie and look at her and be like, oh, this is somebody who's going to upset the system, right? And she
Right.
really
Yeah.
grows into that, and it's pretty incredible. And oh my gosh, I mean, Meryl Streep, like, again, we're never gonna have another Meryl Streep. It's just never gonna
Oh,
happen.
never.
Can we talk about her process, another process, but just the presence of her? I noticed that in the film there were very long shots that were centered on one person for like about 3 seconds at a time.
Yeah.
And with Kurt Russell, stagnant face. Cher, stagnant face. Everybody else, stagnant face. Look at Meryl Streep, and there's the world
eyes
of
are
stuff going on
darting. She's
behind
thinking.
there.
You
Her
can see her
eyes and
thinking.
yeah, the whole thing
Everything.
is like so
Yeah.
animated. Not like
Yeah.
animated, but there's still kind of action that you can see things going on behind there.
Yeah.
When she was
Like,
having
she's
that
here's
fight
what's
with
lived into
Dolly,
the character.
like
Here's what's funny about
Wait,
that, Anson, is the fact that what you're saying there. So interesting that we saw this in flesh at the same time, because that was actually the power to me, not trying to transition to that movie yet, but of what Joe Dell'Sandro was in that movie is you could not take and not just because he was a handsome guy, there was something always about Joe Dell'Sandro in that movie. You couldn't take your eyes. And I felt the same way watching Silkwood. It's like I could never stop watching what Meryl Streep was doing, how she was reacting, all that stuff. Yeah, because everybody else was not nearly as stuff was going on. Even when she wasn't talking, you could tell there was stuff going on with Karen Silkwood's character in that. So
what was Alyssa about to say? Also, you were about.
Taking a
Alistair was
smoking
about to
gun,
say
Alistair.
something.
Oh,
Oh no, I was just gonna say that. I mean, the scene that really stood out to me with Meryl was her fight with Dolly.
Yeah.
And her just sitting on the
Oh,
couch with her cigarette,
even the way it was shot.
coffee, and just looking so strong. It was crazy.
It was like a whole, like, I don't know, Oklahoma woman power stance.
I was like,
That
you know
poor
what?
coffee
You
cup.
should be a lesbian.
I could tell those pants were tightened up to her, way past her belly button.
It's got to get on your nerves when everybody smells like formaldehyde or whatever.
Formaldehyde.
I don't know. It's just like this. It was like such a familiar movie to me because those are like the locations I grew up in. I know how that house smells because everybody I grew up with,
Like plutonium.
their house.
Yeah,
Cigarette
and
with a little bit of
lesbians.
plutonium.
Cigarettes, yeah, cigarettes, a little plutonium mixed in.
Stale cigarettes and cognac.
Yeah, I don't know, and it just felt like, I mean, we didn't have you know what, something I'm real proud about because I was watching this movie and the amount of times that that flag is in it.
Yeah,
Three
Nobody
times.
I ever grew up with ever had that flag hanging up. So,
Well,
Yeah,
it was his
I felt like
drapes
it's
in
real
his new
good.
house.
yeah.
They were the drapes in the new
thought about-
house.
when I saw Kurt Russell's character, I thought about you, Zach. I thought about, oh yeah, that would have been him if he wasn't.
Think about me.
You would have grown up like him if you
Oh,
weren't
waist
gay.
down.
You're
Yeah.
flag loving Southern
Well,
boy.
The
I've always
first,
loved that
the
flag
first
as well.
road
I
sign
never
that
had-
said
I
Oklahoma
never had
City,
that.
22 miles. I thought of Zach and Alistair too. I thought I remember
Well,
when they
and
were in Lawton.
some of the places they were driving looked real familiar too, and like I'm sure that they filmed in other areas too. But like I don't know, some of those shots looked like I'm pretty sure we
It looks like Oklahoma.
seen that the day before we signed for the house that we bought in Lawton. I drove out to the spot that she died at because I wanted to see it, and it's just crazy, It's like you're there and you. I mean, I had Meryl Streep on my mind, but like the real woman was there.
history happened here.
Yes.
You know you're talking about stars. The woman that played Dolly Pilliker's girlfriend was the daughter on Mommy
Yeah,
Dearest.
Mommy Dearest. I was looking when she
Diana
popped up on
Starwood.
screen. I didn't remember that. I didn't remember her
Yeah.
being in this.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
What about they invented Cher's character because it doesn't really exist in real life, and then
She
tried
does.
to play.
She does. She just has a
But
different
she-
name.
Yeah, she had a different name. She was Dusty
Yeah,
Ellis.
Chevy?
If you look
No.
her up, her life was insane. She
Who's
held up
that?
like a nursing home with a shotgun.
Oh
She
my.
took to the fence of the plant with a shotgun and got
Did
arrested.
she really adopt, Meryl Streep in? Like, because that was implied in the movie that she blurbed and told
No,
you-
no. I think
No.
she was actually really upset about this because she
Yeah.
said that she would never have said anything to anybody about this.
Yeah.
And the movie kind of makes it sound like she maybe has.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Dolly?
Like,
No, no.
You're talking about her roommate?
Cher's character. Yeah, whatever the name is here.
That was my
Leslie-
biggest. That was
Well,
my
they were
biggest
both
question. in
they
the
were
movie.
both staring at her like they didn't believe her. So
yeah, but then afterwards it was like fine again. So I was like, maybe they did believe her. I don't know.
I
There
think
wasn't
they
any
wanted to
tension
make-
after that scene.
Well, but
Yeah,
there was a couple scenes that did really make me. I couldn't tell if that was what Mike Nichols was trying to infer because there was the scene on the airplane when they were flying out to have the testing done, and
Yeah.
the way that Dolly was acting during that scene
Yes.
called it because they made such a moment to impress upon how those people were angry about what was going on, but none of them would really stand against it because their livelihood was so important to them. And
But
so
that's the scene I was talking about because she was staring out the window and they were both staring at her. And I said
Right.
I don't know if they thought she did it or not, if they
But
believed
even,
her.
but even at
I
the
got the
end, when they were
impression-
towing her car and she wouldn't look at it ever, and you could take that two different ways.
It
Like
implies
that's
guilt.
she can't
guilt.
look at it because she's so guilty,
Yes,
or she's
that's how
not
I
because
read
she's
it.
so upset. Yeah, it's
I
like
Put
got
the two together, and I think the
impression
guilt
that
actually works better.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
she
that
was so
the,
in love with Karen Silkwood.
Yeah, she was.
So who knows?
Chris,
Yeah, I
what-
got the impression that she had blurbed about the New York Times interview because then when they said, "Did you tell them about the X-rays?" and she just shook her head no.
Mhm.
Or do they know about the X-rays? And she shook her head no.
Mm.
And so it's like maybe she did accidentally say something about the interview, but that's all she said. That's what I got from that scene.
I get the impression that the real woman was kind of a little gossipy, and so it's possible. I mean, I think they leave that sort of question open for a reason in the movie, right? Is like, I don't know. And I think they leave it open for a lot of people is like, because they do very much want to, at the end of the day, it is like the big hook is like who killed Karen
Yeah.
Silkwood? Did somebody kill her, right? And they want to leave that sort of like, okay,
Who
well,
McGee?
it's like the who, sold out Anne Frank, it's you want to set that mystery up and kind of leave it dangling for people.
Yeah.
But when the movie was made, the court case already finished, right? They already been awarded what the $1.4 million this case. So it kind of established fact that there
He
is.
died in 74 and the movie was made in 83. So
No. But in terms of the question who killed Karen, there's really a civil court case that actually awarded the estate money. So I was still surprised the movie trying to claim this neutral stance on who killed her. It's already been decided by the court that
I don't know if they made it neutral. They made it look pretty much like Kerr McGee did it.
Hold on, but a civil court case does not establish guilt or innocence.
Guilt.
Yeah,
it
right.
only establishes did you have a hand in leading to this.
Yeah.
So are you liable? That's what it establishes. So
with
the company,
OJ, owing his ex-in-laws, like those people,
$92 million.
What were you? 1 second. What were you saying?
Oh, honestly, it's not super relevant because we're already past it.
It's always relevant with you, Alistair.
But
Always.
I was gonna say, really astounded me the luxury of the flights that they had. Those were big seats, huge meals. I was like,
how much is this going to cost?
And you could smoke on the plane.
I
They had ashtrays on the
there
end
were
of the
smoking
seat
sections of the plane and
cigarette out.
non-smoking.
I would hate that.
I don't think there was a non-smoking section of the plane. I remember the whole plane you can smoke back in the, even as late as the late 80s. You can smoke
You can choose. I can remember you could choose your smoking section or the non-smoking section.
Yeah.
And when you checked in, they would ask you. It wasn't something that you could arrange from before. You had to check in and ask you.
You had a little curtain in between smoking and smoking.
You're getting it whether you like it or not.
In some planes today, you can still see the ashtrays on the
they still have
armrest,
them.
but they're
On the
fuchsia.
armrest.
Ashtrays all over this damn movie too. Ever seen? There's
Yeah.
at least 3 ashtrays you can spot.
But it was funny when she wanted to know who was going to pay for the meal.
Yeah.
And Kurt Russell does look sexy.
Oh my God, he looked so
Shirt
good in this
off or
movie.
shirt
Oh,
on. Those are
Like
lashes.
he's sitting there with his pants unbuttoned.
yeah.
Oh,
I looked good when he was younger.
There was a scene that he was lying in bed and the sheet just lifted enough to, for you to suggest saw something.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and look at that. No, I'm sorry. But there was one scene. Okay, I couldn't figure out if it was something to set the tone of where they were, or if it had something to do with one of the backstories of one of the characters. In the beginning, when Karen Silkwood is checking in and she's talking to the lady next to her about the different wig. What do we remember that scene? Okay, and then she talks about she had the good one. She gave the good one to the daughter because she's going through treatments. And then out of the blue, she turns to Karen Silkwood and says, "I can't believe they're letting my baby die next to a black person, like a colored person."
Yeah.
And I was like, was that
Welcome to Oklahoma in the 70s.
I was trying to figure out, was it setting the tone of the location, or was it just a random thing? Because they never came back to that.
Yeah, I think that is one of those things where, like, I think movies like this were always very.
I want you to
they're like dripping
think,
in
Anson, how many black people were in the movie?
Let him finish. I'm sorry. What was saying, Zach? Zach.
No. They just had a lot of. I was just going to say that these movies have a lot of detail, and a lot of them you don't revisit, but it like paints the entire world, and that does that. Is like this woman, it's probably very racist, but just because we're not revisiting doesn't mean like that wasn't put in there very specifically to know that and let you know about this location, and
right.
Same thing with that.
But again, look how many black people were in the movie.
Yeah.
There was one who was a famous actor now, the one in the lunchroom when she went out.
Bill Cops. It was Bill Cops.
Yeah. I couldn't remember his name, but he didn't even have a line. He had like a kind of grunt. That was it.
Well, and I mean,
You
some
and I still know
in
what you
that
did last
town, there
summer. That's all I
probably
know.
weren't a lot
Oh.
anyway,
Oh
So
yeah, that's right. Dominic, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, that generation coming out of the South was like my mom used to have this passive racist, and though she was never like an actively racist person that would throw N bombs or anything like that, but she would have this coming from Virginia and stuff. It was like this, it's like a passive racism. Like she'd be telling me a story, and she would always do this thing where she would be like, "Oh, why this girl helped me out at this store, and she was black," and I would be like, "What? Why? Number one, why are you whispering that? And then number two, what does her being black have to do with the story?" I'm like, but it's this weird because I have a neighbor next, a few doors down from us. She's like 90, and she has the same thing. As a matter of fact, when I tried to point that out to her at one point, I said, "Pat, whether somebody speaks English right or not is not really relevant to this." She was like, "I'm not racist. I'm not." And she literally sends me a picture of her with a bunch of black women that were at this thing. And I'm like, Pat, that's not really helping the case. That's like saying I can't be racist. I got black friends. And like, this is not, it's like, but she of her generation, she just could not, she does not understand. So I stopped trying to do that with her, but it's like, it is like a generational, but also locational kind of thing where someone says that, and it's just like, because of they're coming out of that Jim Crow era still in that in their minds. So
the worst people are the ones who are like, oh, this person is really black. Like they're so dark black. It's like what?
Well, and I think like the character here saying that, I think, because I noticed a lot with a lot of these characters is that they would have little things about them that we remember about them, and we'll immediately, like, because I thought about that the entire movie, right? And I think it's to ask the question, well, these people are this way or this way or this way, and like even the woman that Karen is friends with through the movie and then kind of drops her towards the end, like, are these people worth defending and saving? And it does kind of ask that question, and I don't think it like dedicates itself to an answer, but it's it sets up Karen as somebody who's like, well, I'm gonna save everybody, like that's my goal here. And I think it's
she feels responsible.
it is to help Karen's character.
It's a two-way sword because it was the same thing. Were they good enough friends to her?
Yeah.
And was she good enough friends to them for them to protect her? So there wasn't, she tried to help everybody and nobody wanted to help her.
Yeah.
I mean, even the one lady
believed her.
Even the one lady that took her shift, it became a big to-do. They accused her of stealing shit and everything else, it's just like.
But that's exactly what that whole underlying like the beginning scenes where she was in the lunchroom eating everyone, so lunches. She never bothered to check her hands with. So it's always that line of she's not trustworthy enough. Yep. So when it comes to the union and the motive, you start sort of have a second line of questioning. Is she doing this because she now get to become the only female negotiator in the union? She's doing it for herself. And that's always been kind of like, I was like, why was that so weaved into this movie if it is about
I can see motive being a big question mark they're trying to raise without again like specifically answering it, is because they do make the point to show her not following protocol, stuff like that. But then that also really points out that it highlights that even still the company was still negligent, right? Like just because
that's the whole point, right? Yeah,
messed up here or messed up there, it's okay. I mean, it's not okay. At the beginning when she's touching everybody's food and stuff, I'm like, I know where
Yeah. Even when they're eating the cake with the gloves, I'm like, guys,
like
really?
But the union was being portrayed as that they not really care about those people. They only come in because the election's up, so they want to, do something now to get their agenda. They don't really care about it until she mentioned, oh well, they actually swap films, and it's wow, that's very. So I feel kind of there's a very interesting, I don't know.
I think it's even bigger than that.
My question was, okay, number one, she goes on her little thing, goes sees her kids. When she comes back, they tell her that they thought she stole something. And, she had done her hands and she was clean. And then they accused her of stealing something. And then everybody in the place was looking at her and staring at her. And then the first time she did her hands, then she was dirty. So was she dirty or was this the company? And then she did it again.
Well, one second. We're going to answer real quick.
Oh,
were you
sorry.
saying?
No, you can let him finish, and then I'll come in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thanks, but no, I can let him finish.
But there was a second time that she had done something like they found out that she went to DC and talked to whoever and whatever, and then all of a sudden she was dirty again. So the 3 times that she was dirty was right after they had done something or found out something on her. So you wonder, was she dirty, or had they done something to her to make her dirty, or was it them setting her up with the the machine, or what it was? Because it was always something that happened.
So he thinks it was them, but my
Yeah,
question
same.
is, does that stuff detect if it's internal as well? Because if it was already internal, then it would be freaking hot. But I wasn't sure.
I thought it was only detected the hand.
I
The
thought it was
internal
just yeah.
But here's the
said
thing.
that she had like 40,000 of these units in her,
I
and
know,
then
they
she
were
goes
saying
to the
smart stuff.
doctor,
I
and they're
didn't know
like,
what they
"No,
were
you're
saying.
within safe levels."
But
Mhm.
So I think they were trying to
but
set
the
her up
error
to
margin
make it
was plus or minus 3%.
Yes.
300,
because that was
So she
still
can
within
uh-huh.
legal levels.
300% plus or minus
Yeah.
300%.
Oh, 300.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
300%.
Okay.
But she would still be fine.
Yeah.
They said, how much plutonium do you think you have?
Yeah.
But here's the thing:
What
the actual percentage of nanocuries that you can have in your body is 40, and then your body starts breaking down. But you can only get it through inhalation. If you eat it or drink it, your body won't ingest it.
Okay.
So it has to be inhaled. And it's like, where did she get all this inhalation at? I looked this stuff up in my medical thing. That's how I know that.
Well, it's
So let me come back to what I was saying before, though. Let me come back to what I was saying before. I think it's even bigger. It's a bigger thing than just, she was not following protocol or anything. The entire company was very lax about safety because remember when they were doing the tour and they were standing right behind her and they said, well, Karen, these are our trained professionals. Karen, why don't you tell these good people what you're doing? And while she's describing it, you can see the smirk on her face that says that something is wrong. She's doing something that she doesn't really have a technical knowledge of. And then when they leave, she turns to the other one. Hey, as a trained professional, blah, blah, blah. And they all start laughing. The inside joke being, none of them are trained. They're just following some kind of, the steps. So compare that to now where you really have to take these precautions to avoid contamination. You actually, I would imagine, unless you're Homer Simpson, that you actually know what you need to do to avoid the contamination and follow protocol. So that was very, very telling too of the company being very lax in their safety standards.
And how did the house get so contaminated?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was Kerr-McGee.
Oh.
Kerr-McGee set him up.
Man, she peed all over it.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
That's what they were implying. Is
that's what she said. She goes, I spilled my urine sample. That must have been it.
Because that's the only thing you can think of that could have done it.
There's no safe way to handle plutonium. There's just no safe way. It's a whole thing. It's just a facade.
Yeah.
You can't deal with it in any safe way at all.
Doc Brown found a way to deal with it safely.
Yes.
And
Homer had it in the back of his shirts all the time.
Yes.
Now, the funny thing is, I thought of that when they're like, all this plutonium's missing. I was like, it was Doc Brown.
Exactly.
I was horrified every time they do the shower. Like they just like even that woman was bright red. It's like you burned to death already 10,000 times.
It seemed like they took a layer of skin off.
Yeah.
And how many times they carried that 3 times?
But even the thing with the nose that she actually had to do, I don't know how they did that it didn't get in there. I was like,
well, I kept the first time she brought that up too. I was screaming it at the TV every time they were having to go through that. I was like, make sure you get your nasal. And nobody was getting these damn nasal smears. I don't think we saw anybody get them.
No.
You know how many of those I had to get during COVID?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
I had more than 200 because I was going through dialysis. So
I remember my first one. It felt like they swabbed the front of my brain.
Yep.
That thing was like, it was at least 9 inches long. I didn't even know my nasal passages were that deep.
You could feel it behind your eye. It was like, shit.
When they first started, the whole COVID thing broke out, they wouldn't let us swab anyone in the hospital. In the ER, we just have to bring them outside to swab them.
Yeah, they took me outside.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I had to be in my car and drive up in the line in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so gosh.
And the hand just comes through your window and
Well, I thought we did it because there's not enough like in Australia, we set up remote site because everyone has to go. There's so many of us who just drive through. Not enough. Yeah.
Y'all were on
But-
actual lockdown in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Like
Melbourne. Don't even. So Dave has no. Melbourne has the longest lockdown in the entire world. Well, we were locked down like almost 8 months, pretty
Yeah,
much.
we were bad in Rhode Island.
Let me tell
Oh.
you. Let me tell you a funny story on the opposite side. I had to travel to Trinidad somewhere in the when they started opening the borders, and yes, I had to get my COVID test and everything. To get back in the US, I had to do my COVID test, and I had to show that I had it 48 hours before the date of travel. But the problem was that my flight is at midnight. Was at midnight. And I took it. I took the test what was supposed to be 48 hours, and then found out that I did it an hour too early. So I had to go back and
Oh God.
I had to go back and get it done again. The guy said, "What?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "My flight is at midnight, so this had to be done an hour later." So he said, "Okay, give me the paperwork." He just gave to the paperwork. He erased the date and he put the new date in. That was it.
Right.
Hey, Chris, it's
I
Rory.
love my lockdown days because there was structure. Because we only allow 1 hour or half an hour exercise, so every day we did the same walk, we did the same thing. That structure, I wasn't employed back then as well, so that gave me something to hang on to. It's kind of like, especially I did it with Mark together. That's the time we spent together. We always I actually loved it. Must be Stockholm syndrome,
Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, it's Rory. Before I forget, you need to come over here and clean my house before the cleaning lady gets here on Monday, okay? It
Hide the
ain't looking
evidence.
opulent today, let me tell you. I'm sorry, guys, off topic.
Hey, by the way, I have my new glasses on, so now for the first time I can actually see everybody clearly.
Anyway,
Then
good or
Rory
bad?
told me a very interesting fact as well, that not everyone can do this apparently.
That's
yeah, no,
Yeah.
not everybody can do this. No.
I
It's
thought
a
they
genetic
were-
thing.
Can you make it into a flower too? I can like.
A flower?
Oh
No,
wow.
I can't do that.
I don't know if you can see
No,
it.
I can't do that. No.
I can do that.
Zach, you should have been straight.
Do it.
I'm not even gonna try.
Well, rolling your tongue is on the top 10
I
list
think I can. I
of,
think I can do that too. Like,
of rarest human characteristics. Yeah.
Oh, the
So
cheapest
not
would have liked
everybody
you,
can
Zach.
do it.
See, Eric can do it.
Along with patting your head and rubbing your stomach.
I bet Dolly could do that real well too in this movie.
I was really surprised
sure
that
she
she was a
could.
lesbian and that they were like I
They
love the
saw
reaction. They were
gay
like,
rights in this movie, right? Like they
Yeah.
looked at each other. They said, "Do we care? No."
yeah, that was the
Right.
reaction was great. They're like,
And then she
But-
moves in.
But the Karen Silkwood character did say that she had a really hard time when she told her I think it was her parents that she was going to be moving in with a lesbian with a and then Cher jumps in with a dyke. So
Oh yeah. Well, Zachary, I was going to say that talent of yours just makes me happy for Alistair.
Right? This is not that show. This is not that show. We
After dark.
rated R now.
Perfect time to wear sunglasses.
Check the smile on Alistair's face with the sunglasses.
Let's talk about this when we talk about Flash, okay?
Yeah,
So
we'll
Oh,
get
yes.
we'll go into that. Okay. Does anybody have any final thoughts on Silkwood? This is my favorite Meryl Streep movie. I think
It
I
has
think she's so
aged.
good in this.
It has
Wow.
aged as a
Not
time
Mamma
capsule.
Mia.
What?
Not Mamma Mia.
No,
This was my first time watching it, and I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's
Mine
a
too.
good show.
even though it
I
was a
did
different
not-
era.
I did not like this movie. I thought it was so boring. No, I'm
Don't-
Oh, Dominic.
I really liked her, but I will say, I'm so sorry, but didn't you say you think Cher should have won for this movie?
For this
'Cause
movie,
I'm
yeah.
surprised she even was nominated. No
No,
offense.
she
She was good in the
nominated, I would say
movie.
yes. Nominated, yes.
Yeah,
Really?
she-
But
No one-
What-
yeah,
no
I
one
think she
won
I
deserved to
kept
be
waiting
nominated.
for that scene that she would have a scene. I was like, where's
Oh,
the
you didn't
scene
think
that,
so?
you know?
I think so. For me,
It almost feels like they
I
did
don't
it.
know.
They did it because she was so like without makeup and she looked
Yeah.
like not like Cher. That's what it feels like.
Well,
Maybe.
then, I mean, because I think she could have won it for Mask also, but
Yes,
I guess
well,
that one.
definitely.
Well,
Mask,
no,
I
I
agree.
mean, these are pretty similar characters, so I guess. I don't know.
I mean, but I think it's a style. I mean, Mike Nichols movies are typically very, it's a lot what's not said. It's a lot what the characters are doing that aren't speaking about. So and it is easy to can take some of his movies and feel like they're slow or they're boring because he's really here, because it's like, well, there again, going back to the airplane scene with Cher, there was so much to me that she was doing and saying in that scene without even really having very too many lines. And again, Meryl Streep is like, there's no scene that she's in where you're not going, God, what is going on in her head over there? It's like she's got some inner dialogue going on.
What I wanted to know was how they got, the tray was this fucking big.
Yeah.
And there was 3 of them, and they were all squished together. Where the hell did those
hold
3
on.
trays
Remember,
go,
back in those days, it was 3 and 2. The seats were 3 and 2, not 3 and 3.
Yeah.
So the seats were bigger, and the tray would be bigger.
Three nowadays.
Well, that's wide body, but that was a 727, which is a narrow body. So it would have been 3 and 2. That was the standard configuration, and you couldn't mess with it. That's how it was sold, and that's how you had to use it.
Herm McGee stayed in business till like 2006. They stayed in business after all that, and then they were bought out by another oil company, Ando Dark or Ando Dark or something like that. So
Hey, just a bit of trivia here. Anybody knows who Mike Nichols was married to? Diane Sawyer.
Yes.
Diane
Oh
Sawyer.
my God!
I was gonna say,
Really?
I thought you were gonna say
I've
the
got a
actress who plays
contentious
the lesbian.
relationship with Diane Sawyer.
Well, after the Whitney
Sawyer.
interview. After the Whitney interview.
He makes
Eric,
so many gay movies, though, isn't he? Mike Nichols, The Angels in America, the Bird's Cage. Like, he did so many gay-related movies.
Did he do Virginia Woolf also?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow. Also
I was too lazy to look it up.
But,
I liked it when they did her on Saturday Night Live. Every time they did her, she was laying down in the chair and asking questions and looking at you from the side of her head. It's like, that poor girl.
She has a very disarming way of asking a question. Barbara Walters was more,
Blunt.
I'm the shark and I'm coming to get you.
Yeah.
But Diane was like, oh, I'm just want to be your friend. In this kind of
Yeah,
way.
but I don't know. I think because you saw Barbara coming in as an interviewer, there wasn't any false pretense about it. But I feel like Diane Sawyer never came off as genuine or authentic, and I don't know. Her interviews like irk me. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
And then to lay
okay.
down.
What?
But anyway, yeah, Kerr McGee's out of business now.
They're out
finally.
of business, and just another like note on like the acting in this. And it's not so much from the men, but it's from all the women I've noticed in this movie. Is that again, like they're all doing something, and so like while somebody's reading just a few lines of dialogue, like they're touching things or like really like messing with hair or like scratching something or like I don't know. It's busy, and I just missed that. We talked about this last time, I think. Is I missed that like style of acting is busy acting, because people move around, people do things,
Wasn't that pioneered by Brando? Wasn't that like Brando's thing?
It was a big Brando thing.
Yeah.
So. You know what? I also kind of miss movies where people are not wealthy or rich. I feel like nowadays you watch a movie and everybody's like has everything. They have houses that are crazy and everything. I feel like it's nice to watch a movie. Not that this is like relatable. I'm not living like them, right? But like it feels more lived in.
I feel like this movie was really good at showing kind of like that poverty line, right? And the sort of desperation. But it was also still a movie, and it was very much a painterly version of it, right? Like the house that they lived in was just, the outside was just like washed, grimy, just perfectly to really paint that. But it was still like, this old Oklahoma farmhouse kind of, on the bunch of land. And I looked up where she lived, and she lived in, a regular sort of like a brick apartment where like it's like I think it was like a duplex or something like that. And she had,
what was it called? Crescent?
Yeah, like a little corner
Oklahoma.
lot. And it was like a 1-story sort of just brick. Like there's nothing special about it. And so it's funny what they decide to change for movies, right? Because I guess
But if you grew up where I did in the middle of backwoods Missouri, you've seen that house before.
Let me show. I guess I can send it. I can send it in the chat real quick to you where she lived.
Well, it's funny because I think
I was saying before,
2000s they had a big thing with that, being like, oh my gosh, this is like a poverty person or family, and they'd live in a huge house. The kid would have a double bed. I remember watching Gossip Girl, and they're like, Dan Humphrey is poor. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
he's like in
their version of
a
poor.
huge apartment. Yeah, like
well, I think I was saying before, similar time frame. Mike Moore did a movie called Roger and Me. It's a documentary of GM exiting. There's been so many sort of lines of how Americans should be angry about this sort of class divide, and I wonder if that kind of build up to the dissolution of the system and all that now become this whole mega movement, because these people feel so betrayed by everything in the past. They're almost like nothing left for them to just cheer for someone who will just destroy the whole thing.
Well, and that's a lot of the motivation behind why a lot of people voted. It's funny you mentioned that, because I just recently was watching this thing about Ross Perot, and I mean, I lived through that election, but I'd forgotten he was the first like successful independent candidate. And one of the things that he harbored on a lot, this was during the election of Clinton and Bush Sr., was that the NAFTA thing that everybody was pushing, not just Republicans, but Democrats were too. And that's partly why people felt, working class people, blue collar people, feel so betrayed, because that's what killed our production in this country. Because Ross Perot kept saying, you're going to hear this big sucking. He was famous for saying, you're going to start to hear this big sucking sound, and that's all your jobs and everything leaving and going to Mexico or going someplace else. And he was exactly right, because that was something. It started under Bush Sr., but Clinton was the one that signed the bill for that and stuff. So that is why a lot of people did vote for Trump, for the very reason that they wanted to basically throw a Molotov cocktail into the government and just blow the whole thing up. And they've certainly done it, but they've done it in a way that they didn't really, I don't think, understand that he's worse than a lot of the people they thought they were trying to chase out of the government, because he is so.
You want to
Didn't
solve
you
the
just
deficit?
recently-
I'm your man, because I got $8 billion. I'm in the bank.
Didn't he
That's
just
what he used
say
to say.
recently that he's gonna run
Yeah, I
in
know. Ross Perot
2028?
was hilarious.
We're going through a similar thing at the moment in Australia, where the middle class feels so betrayed that we're now reviving a 20-year-old racist politician called Pauline Hanson, who was famous for saying that Chinese, the Asians swarming Australia back in the 90s, and she's become so popular that they kind of completely blew the lid to it. So yeah.
Hey guys, I need to borrow 20 seconds as usual. I'm marrying a couple on August the 7th. They're coming for dinner tonight in 20 minutes. So
You're
I have to
marrying
get,
a couple. My
I'm
goodness.
glad
have
they
to-
Is that
invited
legal
her
in
on Silkwood
California?
with you.
and Zach and Alistair next Friday. I'm marrying another couple a little later, and they're coming next Friday. I'll do my best, Alistair, to get on for the book review, but it's a fair bit of work getting ready to marry somebody. So
Let me just
You're
say
doing
something.
it.
You're the busiest retired man I've ever
Yeah,
known.
for real.
I know I have no I have no shit in life. All I do is this
One
kind
day,
of stuff.
Bradley, you'll have time enough for us.
I hope so.
That's
Take
so
care.
funny.
Nice seeing everybody.
Bye, Brad.
Bye,
Brad.
Bradley.
The best.
He's the most busy retired person. Like
He
he's
is.
his travel, his marrying people. He's always busy.
He's marrying people. Yeah.
Well, he
Always has
showed
a
up,
positive
he showed up
attitude.
because
He
he
is.
saw this
He's a
one a long
busy
time
guy.
ago, but he's not going to watch a movie for these either. He don't have time. Okay.
Oh, that's
should we
pretty
go-
interesting, Zach. The
Yeah.
pictures. That's her place that she actually lived in.
Yeah, so
he
like
put it-
so plain, right? Like we see these
Yeah.
all the time. It's like low income housing, and that's where she lived, and they put her in this farmhouse, but they got to make it look weathered and distressed, so we know that
Right.
she's struggling. With
Well, it's
money.
so much more cinematic to have that. The lone farmhouse out by
The
itself.
porch
on
swing, right? They had to get her on a porch swing.
Right.
I love
the goal.
Yeah.
the porch.
It's a nice house.
Well, it worked. It cinematically, it worked, right? We needed her and Cher
Of
sitting
course.
there and all of that. And
Well,
her-
because that's what you do envision. Like when you think of those places, you think of the lone farmhouse. This could be anywhere. I look at this picture. I'm like, well, God, I can think of places here in Portland that I can find a house that looks like that kind of a thing.
Everything
So,
happened around the dining room table. So, you know, and that's just like the Waltons and every other, you know, everything in that lifetime went around the table.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay, so the next one was, I feel like we can go through My Own Private Idaho real quick. I feel like we'll have a lot more to talk about when we get to Flesh. Do you have more to talk about? Here, scoot up so that you can actually like be
Really?
here.
Oh, pumpkin.
My thing is Flesh is pretty straightforward. My own.
No, I have a
Idaho
lot to
is
say
not.
about Flesh.
Wow, really? I have nothing to say about Fred.
Pretty sad.
Oh,
Dominic, I'm sure you can find at least one thing.
My
It
own
was on
private
YouTube.
Idaho, which
All
is
that
a
I have a
kid
mil-
saying-
I don't know, Zach. I have a million stories about my own private Idaho I can share. So it's like,
and it's one of Keanu's, like, I wouldn't say biggest movies, but like most recognizable movies. Because I think him and, gosh, what's his name?
River
Phoenix.
Friends, right?
Yeah.
River. Yeah.
River.
Yeah, River Phoenix, right?
River Phoenix. Yeah.
Brother of Joaquin.
Okay, yeah.
I have a vague memory. Matthew and I saw it twice, and I remember the second time around. It was sort of based on Shakespeare's Henry V.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is.
What was?
My Private Idaho.
I thought it was more. I thought it was more based on Oliver Twist.
No. Keanu's character is loosely Henry V. I mean, yeah.
He's also the what was the guy's name? The in Oliver Twist, the kid that went and taught him how to do everything.
Artful Dodger.
Yeah, the Artful Dodger. That's the character I got him from.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, it was loosely based on Henry the Fourth, the Shakespeare. But River Phoenix, I still remember him in Stand By Me. Like he had that art, that look in Stand By Me, even though he was a kid. That was so intense. It was
He would have been a great actor. Well, he was, but he would have been better.
Yeah.
He would have been incredible.
He had the same kind of busy background look that Meryl Streep had. You can see a lot going on in his character's head.
Yeah.
At the same time.
He was always passed out. He kept fainting all the time.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with that kid now?
Even passing out, there's such an intensity to the way he the presence is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I did really like the campfire scene. He also wrote that himself, and even the way he was like holding himself during that scene, like it was like giving him a self hug because it's like being so vulnerable. And like especially men in the 90s were not shown like that yet, so it was like interesting that the movie did that.
I was also interested in the way. Sorry, you go.
No, I said I haven't gotten to that part yet. I only got halfway through the movie.
Oh my god, I spoiled you.
Really?
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
Oh no, he dies. No, I'm kidding. He doesn't die.
I was really interested in
He does, just not in the movie.
In the way how this whole, Idaho or Oklahoma, that mysterious, Midwest nothingness become a notion of almost like so the alternative paradise. There's almost this sacred places that you can go to that is only available to people who knows that mysterious but also deadly kind of environment.
I've been to both of them, and I didn't find anything mysterious about them. I was ready to get the hell out of there.
No,
Ain't nothing in these places.
The Midwest is gorgeous, man. It's yeah.
There's a lot of wide open space. The coasts are always built up and busy, but the middle is just like periodic spurts of action, and then there's wide expanses of nothingness. When people ask me what is it like living, when people in Trinidad ask me what is it like living in Texas, this is mostly when I was living in Alice, I would tell them, think about a Trinidad suburb crossed with a Bugs Bunny, BB the Roadrunner cartoon. And that's pretty much what it is. It's just certain parts are really, really busy. And then you have these other wide open, empty spaces where there's just one road running through the entire thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, you would love the terrain here where I live. I'm in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. So very hilly, more deciduous trees than any place on earth. So you would like it.
I do love it. I just need to move my entire family with me.
Right.
Only one more.
We're very, very attached.
Oh.
That first
Did you not like the movie, Zach?
What was that?
Did you not like the movie?
I'm not a big fan of this movie.
Yeah, I figured. I was like, I could tell. I was like, let's not talk about it too much.
Well, maybe I might have.
Why?
I like it enough, and I'm actually a pretty big Keanu Reeves fan. I just think he's so silly, and the nothingness on his face when he's trying to express emotion is real nice to watch. But I don't know. I don't think that River
Unpopular
was that
opinion.
great.
I did not like this movie
Thank
from
you.
the very beginning.
I'm in good company then.
When I first watched it, when it first came out, I'm like, great acting, but what the fuck am I watching?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it was the acting was phenomenal. River Phoenix was just an amazing actor. But I was like, okay,
what is the point?
yeah, I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
like
what I
looking
was
at my
thinking. What is the point of the movie, right? Like,
well,
it
sometimes
kind of
movies like I do like a movie that is a little more just pointless, and I don't think this was a pointless movie,
No.
but I do like
Some
movies
parts
that
of it were. Some parts of it were.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
did he ever tell that girl that he was a street whore when he hooked up with her? And because
I
he was
think so.
he was
right. Like he
screwing
kind of
what's his
does.
name the
He
night
does.
before, and then all of a sudden he's in love with her. It's like, really?
He does
But
acknowledge
if you
the bomb guy.
understand the Shakespeare play, which provide the structure of the movie, then it becomes a very interesting thing, right? Because Henry the Fourth had this son who deliberately hang around with taverns and trying to be stealing people's money, and then suddenly this sort of revolt happening, and he became good and came back and denounced his previous. So it's kind of had that structure of, again, I feel like it's a comment of the corrupted, power of money, status in America in general. Is that
you was trying to read stuff into this movie.
Yeah,
I didn't know none
and
of
I
that
get
stuff
it.
was going on.
But I've seen it done better. It's
But also,
you have people who have taste.
That's
and people
okay.
who don't.
I'm
But-
okay with that.
And
Well,
What were you
also,
saying,
like,
Dominic?
I
Hold
kept
on,
thinking
Yeah.
with Keanu Reeves' character, I was like, even when I watched it the first time, I thought to myself, why is he doing this? Like, he is going to be rich or wealthy eventually, and like, I guess work in a company or whatever. And now he's like on the streets hustling for money. Like, why?
Well, but
Like,
you
I
never saw him
quite
really do
understood
anything
why.
with any of the guys. I mean, you
Why did
saw
Tyra
River
Banks
Phoenix
spend
with all the
a
different
day
guys.
homeless?
Why did Tyra
He's
Banks-
the prototype
Tyra
of
Banks
gay
say?
for Penny, right? He's the prototype of people who just doing it to experience. It's almost like the whole "I'm so rich that I want to rebel," which is the
Yeah.
storyline.
I want to see how
Right.
the common man lives.
Yeah, he
Sorry?
wanted to
But
sow
again,
his
you never
wild
saw
oats.
him. You never saw him doing anything with anybody. They showed River with all the guys, and he was what they showed.
They did the still. You know that picture with the German guy, the three of
Yeah.
them have all
No,
those.
cool.
Yeah, he was a
That was
great.
also interesting, the choice that the sex scenes were like done in these stills. I guess that
I
was
love that.
artistic. I don't know.
I love the fact that they hold your voyeuristic gaze into just photographs, so you can't see anything happening but just that process. But Gas Van Sant is a auteur. Like this was a independent movie. It was his first movie, which actually made me want to watch the other movie, Even Cowgirls Get the Blue, which has an amazing soundtrack, Katie Lang. But I think it's a great movie.
If people thought this is divisive, even Cowgirls Get the Blues is. I know a lot about this movie because Van Sant is a Portland filmmaker. This was like his second or third film, and it was very independent at the time. It was a big deal that he got the people in it. It's so Portland that Tom Peterson, who was a local sales guy, who he used to always put in a cameo in all of his movies. Tom Pearson was an icon here in Portland. He still is to a lot of people that are longtime Portlanders. Pops up in the mayor's office scene as the police commissioner and stuff. And as a Portlander, you sat there's like, oh, there's the Tom moment. Kurt Cobain used to wear a Tom Peterson watch. All of this stuff is so Portland and Northwest based, but Phoenix actually came to Portland and spent time. All of those stories, everything you saw there, including some of the hustler scenes in the diner, are real hustlers. River Phoenix, some people have said that his downfall started with this movie because he became such a method actor in it. He spent time on the streets of Portland living with these people. I knew the guy who played Bob. He was a customer of mine, William Richard. He died a couple of years ago. A great man. He was an amazing guy. He and I used to have long conversations about River Phoenix. And because he'd been developing a documentary and stuff. It also was a product of its
the famous
time.
actor, isn't he? The Bob actor.
Yeah, William Richard. He's done a lot of stuff. He actually has done some other movies and stuff. That guy was a powerhouse to talk to in person. He was like, I love the time I spent. I was very brokenhearted when he died because he was one of my favorite people to come into our shop. But Van Sant used to live up in the Portland Hills. I used to pass by his house all the time. But it also was there was a resurgence in the 90s when he made this movie, kind of a little bit like the 70s of these kind of raw. When you asked what the movie was about, it was really kind of similar to Flesh in the sense that it's more just a throwback to an era of just kind of seeing these people more so than a cohesive, like beginning and middle story, like Flesh was. You're really just seeing like this experience of this person, a day in his life. That was kind of, I think, what Van Sant. He went on to make other commercial stuff that he kind of changed his style, like the one he made with Matt Damon and them. But his early stuff, Drugstore Cowboy, this one, even Cowgirls Get the Blues, it's a good movie, but it's weirder than this movie is. Even the guy at the beginning, the guy whose River Phoenix is servicing or getting serviced by at the beginning. I saw him I went to a Van Sant party one time, and it was against a political thing, but that guy was at the party, and I remember recognizing him, and I was like, "Oh, aren't you the guy?" He's like, shh. He was really drunk. He was like, shh, come here. And I said, "You're the guy in that thing?" He's like, yeah. It was when they were shooting When Cowgirls Get the Blues and stuff like that. But it can be divisive, but River Phoenix was an amazing actor. But anyway, I know so many little connections into this movie. So
I also really like this movie because of
sorry.
Is the what?
I also really like this movie because of the lore between River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves, and you know how Keanu has talked about River Phoenix since then.
Yeah.
As like one of the greatest losses of his life. And kind of a love that, although platonic, was definitely very deeply felt, I think, between both of them.
Mm-hmm. It was also the beginning of new queer cinema in the 90s as well. This is one of the sort of start in the festivals of this new breed of gay cinema, which so common nowadays, but back then it was just not a lot. Him, Greg Araki, there's a whole bunch of people start, and being so painterly. I mean, Gus Van Sant's very influenced by painting as well. But I remember being a gay man that was kind of like, wow, and a common sort of feeling. I think, Ruff, you were talking about in the chat earlier today about the whole unrequited love sort of scenario where you fell in love with a straight guy who seemingly is into you, but they're actually not, the kind of thing. Back then in the 90s, that was everything that all my gay experience is about, falling for the straight guys kind of thing. So there was.
But I
like it was a common theme because that's what everybody, so many people were experiencing that because people weren't out, and so it was a lot of that dominated a lot of the movies, and that painful. Everybody knew that painful ache of that. So
for any of those of you who grew up, who lived through the 80s, you remember that period of time where you were not supposed to say anything, but you said things that would be interpreted. And it was very easy to get the interpretation wrong from somebody who wasn't trying to give that message. So lines would always be crossed.
Dominic.
Well, what I liked about it was when everybody said,
one second. Dominic.
I was just gonna say that I like the scene so much at the campfire scene because I feel like a lot of us know this feeling of like you're into somebody and it's not even that you think that that person's into you too, but you kind of have that little wish that when you tell that person, maybe they will also feel the same way for you, but deep down it's not gonna happen. And I think this scene actually portrays that really well.
He was so good at it. He was like hugging himself, saying
like it was
almost saying something, but without saying it, and
Yeah.
Sorry, Ricky, you say Ricky thinks so?
Yeah, go for it, Rick.
I don't remember what I was going to say. I'm sure it was important, but I can't remember.
Maybe it was a lie.
Make some shit
But you know,
up.
I don't.
Maybe it was a
I kind of got the wrong idea there because I thought that Keanu kind of gave him a little more than he should have for them to be, you know, for him not to be interested at all, you know. So I was kind of upset when he turned around and just dissed him like that for that street whore female version. But you know, and then I wanted my last question: who the hell came and picked him up out of the street at the end of the thing? It wasn't Keanu, was it?
I think I read somewhere there was actually an alternate ending where it was the brother that picked him up, and so he goes home with him, or wasn't he both? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, and then he decided to make it this way, so it's kind of like left to interpretation who it is. But I think it was supposed to be the brother.
I also felt that it sounded like a great commentary again on America, right? You know, like you fall down and then even on the road, instead of picking you up first, that you get robbed. You know, like everything, even you have nothing, you still being robbed from that. And then the final one, who knows what they picked him up for? Could be another job. Is that a Q boy there? Okay, sure, I'll pick up the car, because the car has always been about the Johns picking up the boys, right?
Yeah.
So that car, it's kind of like another level of violence, you know, towards the margin. You know, people who are less fortunate keep getting fucked over.
And yeah, the movie also does a good job. Sorry. The movie also does a good job showing that, you know, sex work is so dangerous too, because they have these interviews with these two guys early in the movie, in that diner or what it is, and they both had really bad experiences. Their first experiences were pretty bad.
And
I feel like
those guys, Dominic, those were real. That Van Sant actually pulled actual street. I mean, one of the guys was the actual Mike that they based Mike's story on. Was the real character. He was a real guy. So.
I'm not sure you noticed the flea was also in there from.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It was very crazy. Playing himself. No, I'm kidding.
B-U-D.
What do you think?
Well,
what are your other ones? This is your favorite. I want you to like.
It's not my favorite, but it's one of the ones I go back to. And I remember when I first watched this movie. I mean, it's such a artsy movie that you kind of have to wrap your head around it and kind of sit with it afterwards. And like it was very disappointing that they didn't end up together. But you know, whenever I think of this movie, I think it might be the cover of the film in some renditions, but of them on the bike together.
Yeah.
And this friendship that they had. It's yeah.
I think that's what like frustrates me about it is it just doesn't. I get it. I get the context of it. I get the story of it. I get all the things. I promise you. I just think they should have gone all the way. I don't know. Like I feel like they should have just pushed it all the way.
And then that girl said, "We fell in love."
You mean between the two of them?
I mean, yeah, the whole thing. Yes, yeah. I mean, why not? It was already an indie movie. It was already like I don't know. It seems like both actors would have been really game for that. And
I mean, but it was
they should have touched hands.
It was a gay movie, so it had to end in tragedy.
It did.
But it's also like so many gay themed movies do this where they don't actually fully commit. Like I feel that way sometimes when I watch a gay themed movie. It always feels like they're kind of holding back still for whatever audience. Like they never fully commit.
And what's interesting about this one does feel like it did commit, but it committed while also committing to the story that they're not going to end up together. And I was like, well, if you're committing, then just do the story that they do, you know, end up together.
It's a very different time,
or they don't even have to end up together, but we have the moment of them together at least.
It's a very different time. If you think about, if you were around enough to think about the 80s, you know, you have this whole AIDS, you know, horror. Like at the time, gay wasn't a happy thing, you know, like this is the happiest you could portray. This is 1991. This is just at the height of AIDS epidemic. Homosexual experience have not been a happy one. I vividly remember, you know, how much of that opened up. Oh my God, you can actually portray someone on screen together. That's such a big thing. You don't
Yeah,
have.
I do think it's a
That's
very
not-
important movie. I think culturally it's very important, especially in
I
you know,
think
this community and everything.
the first major film that had a happy ending for the gays, and I'm sorry if I'm going to spoil it for anybody, but it was In God's Own Country. God's Own Country.
Oh,
That was
no.
that was the first one that I was in a while that I saw a fairly happy ending.
Yeah, I mean,
Before that, everything was
there's been
tragic.
a lot of like the real small budget indies and all of that. Like, I mean, but I guess that one is
Like
The big-
yeah, a little bit more mainstream, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
It made a lot of money.
Mhm.
Do we have
What- yeah.
My Beautiful Laundrette on the list?
Oh, I
It's
do love that one.
1985.
love the old- love the
That's
TV series.
1985, and that kind of ended happily for them too. I don't know.
It kind of did. It kind of did. But then this is the opposite spectrum, right? Is because that one didn't commit.
That was in the 80s.
Right.
Again, it was such
Yeah,
a different
yeah.
time. And later on, that author, another book called The Suburban Buddha, which made into a BBC series, that was beautiful. That was actually, if you're actually the guy, the Indian guy from Lost, who's now very famous. I've got his name
Yeah.
now.
Naveen Andrews?
Riz
Yeah.
Ahmed?
Yeah.
Naveen?
Naveen.
Andrews?
Naveen. Okay, Naveen.
Yeah.
This movie also weirdly gave me Batman vibes.
Batman.
What?
Madness.
What Batman? Which one?
Wow.
Maybe
does it
it was
get a
like
load to
the
me?
Keanu character cosplaying for, or maybe it was the pigeon guy. I think it was the pigeon guy.
Pigeon guy?
Get that far.
The bird guy?
Bob Pigeon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you sure?
I know the woman from Home Alone 2 is the bird lady, but I don't know.
No,
this
the
person.
that mentor. I don't know what I'm calling him.
Oh, Bob.
Bob.
Oh.
In the movie. Okay, sorry.
I'm like,
That's
yes,
okay.
I forgot the scene where he puts on the Batman costume.
Yes.
Also reminded me of Batman. No, I mean, yeah, it's a fine movie. It's a good movie. I'm happy
an
we
important
did it.
movie.
I'm happy. It's
I'll
an
finish it
important movie.
later on.
I feel
I
like
can't
this
wait
was
for
like,
you to comment on Flash then. If you didn't like My Own Private Idol, I can't wait to hear what you say about Andy Warhol.
I think maybe it's the Joe D'Alessandro of Flesh. His sort of like
Yummy.
stake in it is what I have a lot.
His
He
fake.
was the River Phoenix
Yeah.
before River Phoenix.
no,
Right?
what?
Who was
No,
Flash?
God, no.
My
Didn't
hot
have
take
those
is
kind of
that-
skills.
We've gone too
Give me a
far.
break.
Yeah, you know what? Now
There's
that
He's
you
the
two
say
Meryl
it,
factors.
Streep of erotic movies or something, right?
Well, my thing with Flesh is it feels. I'm not sure if any of y'all saw this movie. And
I
if
did
you
not.
I
haven't,
watched it just before
I am
this.
happy for you to have not had to witness
You
it.
didn't like it?
Not Flesh itself, but I'm making a comparison to another movie, Skinamarink.
Which
I
one?
watched it in cinema originally in the 90s.
It felt a lot like Skinamarink, and I think that's just how it was
I haven't seen
filmed.
that.
And when Zach
No,
started the
thank you.
movie, I was like, "Are we just gonna watch this guy sleep
I don't
That's what I thought too.
for like the entire movie?" And then
know.
Honestly,
his
I
butt's
kept
there.
thinking, am I watching dailies? Like the movie felt like I was watching dailies because you even heard the director sometimes say go. And they were like looking at
You
the
see
director
the
like, oh
mic,
yeah.
you see the mic, you see the mic in the corner. But that was the original YouTube. That was the original vlog. If you think about it, because Andy Warhol is famous for filming things just as it is. There's even another movie of Joel in the shower.
This was
for
not
about 5
directed by
minutes.
Andy Warhol, right?
No, but he was
Paul
producing
Morosi, I
it.
think.
Yeah,
He was
Paul
producer,
Morosi.
yeah.
That was his
That's
idea
what
of
I know.
sort of
Interesting.
doing that whole factory thing. The shower scene of Joe, in another movie was exactly that, just him in the shower for 5 minutes.
There was nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely nothing. Especially seeing it in the cinema.
Where there's
Absolutely nothing.
suds.
I think it's really interesting to watch because it is just when you watch it, you know, like I think it's a really hard one to watch because of how just like it does just go on, right? So it's tough, but if you break it up, and sometimes you don't even really have to pay attention, but you can kind of just be sitting there with it on, and you still are getting the gist of it. But what I love about it is that you watch it and it feels like it was made, like you can tell it was made by artists in New York who were cool in creating shit, right? Like it felt like people who were just trying to, they were, because it was still during a time where everybody was still experimenting with stuff. There was still stuff to experiment with. There was still plenty of stuff that hadn't been done yet. And, you know, it's really interesting to see all of the like cuts, and because you can tell these are different takes, and they only had a few seconds of each of them, and they're taping the actual film together and running the film through, and I don't know, it's just like really interesting. I don't know if that makes it a good movie, but it's interesting. And
But did you notice,
feel the
Zach, that
atmosphere. You do feel
did
the
you notice
atmosphere of New York in the 60s. Sorry.
No, no.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just saying you feel that it's New York in the 60s. You get that atmosphere.
Yes.
You know,
No,
especially
it is.
the
You see
outside
it, you know?
scenes.
Yeah, like it's on screen now. Now, what were you saying, Eric?
I was just, did you notice though that there was intent behind how he did certain things? Because if you notice, like in the first scene when he was with it was his wife, right? He was married to her, right?
Yeah.
And you notice how that was like the abrupt cutting, but also the audio. It was like this very jolty kind of audio that he, even though he had other cuts later, it was like he brought that back in the end scene when he's back with his wife again. Suddenly it's back to that abrupt kind of, because I remember writing a note down while I was watching. I was like, God, what's with this abrupt audio? It's like, and he only had it in those two sections where it was like this really like jolty audio. And I noticed
like
both those
loud
scenes were
hissy,
exactly the
like
same. It's
AC
like
running.
What's that?
It's loud and like hissy.
Yeah.
Right. And it's really
It's
jolting
unfinished.
when it happens. But I noticed that was I noticed, I was like, wait, he's doing stuff with intent here. It's not just like, oh, I slapped somebody. It's like, for some reason in those scenes, because the day began and ended the same way with Joe D'Alessandro getting naked and going to sleep. And it was just like, it was such an interesting structure to the movie and the style. He had a very distinctive style in how they were putting it together, which is what was interesting about it. So
Well, and I think that I read it as intentional as well, but I also think the fun part about it is seeing stuff like that, and it could very well not be intentional and just have been cobbled together as well. Like so much of this film feels like very cobbled together, and
it feels like it's unfinished, and they didn't have the money to really finish the movie, maybe until they just kind of released like this cut that they had.
It's so funny because like I got so into and I've always like known about him, but I've never really like dug into his life, Joe D'Alessandro, and I was like reading a bunch of stuff and listening to a bunch of stuff right after we watched it, and he was like, yeah, when we would make those movies, I didn't think of them like real movies. They were kind of just like stupid to me while we were doing them, right? But like I don't know, everybody seemed real into it, and
And he kind of has that look on his face, like, all right, here we are, we're doing this.
Yeah.
The one scene where he was getting
the
a blowjob or whatever from that second girl, and she had her hands on his backside, and that's all you could see was her doing that, and he's just going, And then when they got done, and he was laying on the bed, and those two girls started talking, I could literally feel my IQ lowering as these two girls were talking. It got dumber as the scene went along. I was like, holy fuck, what is this?
So
I was lost.
Warhol really, started this whole, he called it the factory, right? He was talking about how anyone can be movie stars, the whole 15 minutes of fame. So that was really the start of this notion that reality can be entertainment. This is all pre-launch, all this reality TV, YouTube, what you guys are doing. This is all started when Warhol actually said,
point.
you know what?
Great point you're making, yes.
You can point a camera to anyone, and that can be art.
Yeah.
That was why it was so low budget. It was why it was so, there's a whole crazy thing that Andy Warhol sort of broke tradition, and it's all start from here. And if you like Joe D'Alessandro, check out Morrissey's second film, Trash.
Yeah, I've seen it. I like the Morrissey stuff more than the Andy Warhol stuff. And I've heard that like Andy Warhol didn't do a whole lot, and he kind of just like started and stopped the camera, and it was usually Morrissey that was the one like directing things. But it is really interesting watching stuff like this because it's just, again, it's the beginning of these seeds of what this ends up becoming, and like the way people film now, and it's the same thing with like Wes Craven when he did New Nightmare. Like that was our first like little foray into meta film, right? And like
Love
it's
that
so
movie.
interesting to me to watch the beginnings of these ideas that are people having, and you have
The
to
original
imagine,
TikTok.
and like the Factory was probably the more prominent body of people doing this, but there were other people having the same idea in the same city doing the same kind of thing, and they just weren't getting it out there. They didn't have, you know, the camera to get an hour and a half movie together, or no, it's just fascinating.
He was definitely what made the
like
movie worth looking
slice
at.
of life
Amen.
story
Yeah.
for a lot of people who don't know what this life looks like. It's a slice of life, a day in his life. And you know, what was also interesting, because he was like, oh, she wanted him to go out to the corner and get like what, 20-25 bucks.
No, she wanted 200.
200 bucks.
200.
Yeah.
For an
He said he
abortion.
could maybe pull 25.
Pull 25, and I know 20, I looked it up, it was like $174.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing.
It shocked me. I was like, inflation that much, really?
I mean, I will agree though that I didn't like the movie really. I mean, it was kind of a weird watch. I guess I would say it was a weird watch, but I do agree that it felt nice because it was very experimental, right? It was like just having like a whole day of someone that is supposed to be kind of mundane, right? Because not the whole day is not going to be exciting. But even but I will say that one
girls,
scene that you were talking
girls
about,
in there.
Rick, I just did not like that scene. That one girl who wanted her breasts done, she pissed me off so much. Like I didn't like. I was like,
It was
girl.
you notice it was most of the women in this, right? It was like when the women
Yeah,
would
they were
come on and
they were
start
kind of
going,
they were really strangely.
you kind of saw it on his face too, him like kind of zoning out and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like there
That's
was
what I was going to say. The only interesting one that you wanted to watch was the last one when he was with that guy.
Yeah.
You know, and they were talking.
That was the meat of it. In my opinion, that
I-
was the meat of the whole experience. He wanted to film this to get to that point right there and discuss sexuality, discuss you know, what he does. Does he really love? Is he gay? Is he queer? We're not queers. And then he turns
While
around.
touching him.
Yeah. And then he turns around and is like, well, you're doing all this gay stuff. It's like that was probably the only scene that really perked me up when I was listening to the nuance between discussing what they were like. Are they gay? Are they not? You know, what am I doing this? Am I doing this for money? I was like, but I love you. I was like, okay, all right, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But
The woman that you talked sounded
about
like a movie that
before,
would
I think
play at
just
a gay bar or a gay club late at night, you know, just in the background.
I'm sure it has too. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
read something from Ian because this was Ian's pick, right, Ian? He says, I love the strange mix of clients in Flesh 2. To me, they're just fascinating, and also the other rent boys on the street. That was the part that I really liked, is them having the conversation about like how much money they can make and stuff like that. Each of them must have had an interesting story. The idea was that he is just objectified, and that the clients and the women just objectify of him, and so do we as the viewers. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I because this was him. I think this was based on. I know they made it after like Midnight Cowboys was like already in production, right? And they wanted to kind of rush it out to get it out before Midnight Cowboys. But I think it was based on Joe D'Alessandro himself and his experience as a what do they call him in this? A street hustler?
Yeah, hustler.
Hustler, yeah.
But aren't those women that you talked about before exactly the same sort of prototype of Paris Hilton? You know, like all that lineage of women who just, you know, disregard.
It was interesting seeing Candy Darling in it. Like I always really like to watch her, and just also just knowing like, you know, how her story ends up. It's really interesting seeing her.
Yeah,
but
I like Sarah Darling in Scream 3 better.
Yeah.
Wait,
isn't her name Candy in the movie?
I think they all have
in
their
Stab 3, right? Her name is Candy.
Oh shit! It
Yes.
is, isn't it? Yeah.
She's Sarah Darling, but her name is Candy in the movie, right?
You know, I never clocked that.
No,
Maybe it's
either.
related.
Hell.
Who knows?
Good job, Dominic.
Yeah, connecting things here. I don't know. I'm like super obsessed with Joe right now. I know that he's got a book that came out in like 1998. I think that's like way too early for that. I wish he would write one now. And he had a documentary that came out in 2009, but I can't find it fucking anywhere on the internet.
Oh.
Like it's just
Do you know the name of it?
It's called Little Joe from 2009.
I
If
remember
anybody
that.
can find
Yeah.
it, I will buy you a pizza
There was a lot of
Not
little Joe in
funny.
this movie.
Well, that was one of the things I looked up when I was watching this, was because I couldn't tell. It was like, is Paul Morrissey, was this an attraction thing for him or something? But I read the story that was interesting, and how they decided to use him was that he'd been there at the factory doing something else, and he said that
Like
he
a
felt he couldn't
doorman.
take his eyes off of him, that he had such a charisma and a magnetism, and that really shows in the movie, because it almost felt like every scene he set up was like, really played to that. I mean, because he constantly had the camera on him, no matter, even if he wasn't the focus of what people are talking about. But he has this, and there again, it's not even just, I mean, yes, he's a handsome, but he does, even when he's not doing something, it was like you can't take your eyes off of what he's
and the
sitting there
camera's
doing.
doing that for us, right? Because the camera will be in
Yeah.
wide shot, and then it'll progressively get closer, like in
Right.
jokes, like almost like we are trying to get closer to him. Like the filmmakers were fucking in love with him. Like that is what we are watching, is the filmmakers being absolutely utterly obsessed with this man. And I get it, because when you do watch him, he does have that magnetism. There are just certain people in the world who have that. Him from every single angle. I've never seen somebody in I guess Tom Hardy, I guess, but like in film, who like from every angle you're just wanting to kind of like walk around just to get like the front of his face, and you're just like kind of really captivated on wherever he is on the screen, right? It is. I don't know. Yeah.
Alistair's upstaging.
Alistair's not happy about this.
You're not in movies. I'm talking about movie stars.
I'm getting some kind of vibe going on back there.
Bring back Red Rising, Pierce Brown.
That's how he feels about Pierce Brown. So.
I was a little
I've never
surprised
said,
that he was
"Oh my
only
gosh,
19
this is so perfect and
in the movie.
captivating at every single angle."
You're not in the movies, baby. When you're in the movies, I'll talk about you.
Imagine
you're captivating too, because even though as Zach was talking, I ended up immediately looking over at what you were doing. So
yep,
you have your own
That's why
magnetism.
he's the subject of all my videos. I get the best shots of him.
He's the Meryl Streep of the shot.
We agree.
He's been my muse for 10 years now.
And he is no longer amused.
Imagine an alternative universe where Pierce Brown and what's his name actually are playing YouTube characters.
Yeah, no, he's.
Well, it looks like that documentary was only shown on 2 festivals. I don't even know if this was ever really released.
And then I saw that it was on Mubi, MUBI, for just like a second, and it's not on there.
No, Mubi has this movie as a catalog. Rather, they don't actually have it, but they have it as a catalog.
Can somebody tell me the year?
It's not available for blah blah blah.
That's bullshit.
What year was it?
2009.
2009.
Okay, when I thought it was 2019.
I will search a darker part of the internet for you. So I can see it.
The darker.
No, don't do that. I don't want nothing that came from there. I don't trust that shit. It is. His life is also really fascinating because he is just so like of the time classic American like boy next door, right? Like he was that like him. His image is like the poster for that. But then
that's what I said. There's an innocence about him.
Yeah, and you go into his backstory, and he's had a rough life. Like he was in foster care. He was his mom was 14 years old when she met his dad and had him at like 16. And he didn't meet her until he was like 21 years old. He had a real rough life, and you just don't. I guess when you watch him, there's like an intensity about it. But like now that I'm informed about that when I see him, I see all of that in there, right? It kind of informs, like, I don't know, he's not somebody who's from the Midwest and had some wealthy parents. Like he knows what it's like to walk the streets of New York. And so when I watch him do it, it rings really true.
He's like Ratso Rizzo because he's the little guy. He's like 5'6" or 5'5" or something like that.
Joe D'Alessandro is? Oh shit, I thought he was tall.
I thought he was tall.
Yeah. I thought he was like
God, he's my height.
The magic of movies.
Exactly.
Beefcake. It's a mix of documentary and dramatization movie about the history of the gay physique, photograph.
Oh yes, Beefcake was good.
Beefcake.
I saw it in the 90s. Yeah, very good.
Character in it who's kind of I'll have to check that one out then. I feel like we've heard
Is that
of
the same thing as Beefcake Hunter? I don't
No.
I think you're mixing your platforms.
Different cake.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
All right.
No, it's
My
not.
bad. My bad.
I didn't know. Yeah,
That is crazy.
he reads as a very tall man.
Well, we kind of watched, I mean, not really, but there was clips from a documentary that we couldn't find, where he's talking about how they showed him how to pose and stand and move in ways that made him look taller than he was.
Interesting.
I guess that's what he was talking about then. Yeah.
They just had very small people as his co-stars. That's
And I guess that
Like
kind
Chris
of informs like,
Nolan.
the sort of like career that he had, because it does seem like very early on, like he was just willing to do whatever, and you're not really like that unless you come from a specific background, usually, right? Like there's always exceptions to the rules, and so it just makes a lot of sense, I guess.
Unless you're short.
Unless it was yeah. Well, now I'm thinking about like how he was standing like next to everybody else, and I don't know, maybe they had him on like apple boxes or something.
I mean, they did that
Yep.
with Tom Cruise.
Well, Zach, you kind of project taller than you really are.
I know.
You know, in the movie The Firm,
Even in
if you ever
person.
if you ever watch that movie,
in person,
Go
and
ahead.
he patted my head and said, "Little guy." And
Nah.
if you ever watch that movie The Firm,
What was that?
whenever Tom Cruise's wife is running away from him, they have him running uphill. And that way it looks like he's catching her. That girl could outrun him. You didn't know what the hell they were doing. But yeah, it looked like he really caught up with this girl.
they've been really good about Tom Cruise too. Like, I don't know, Tom Cruise reads this.
I can't stand him.
Did you see the trailer for Digger?
For Digger?
Yeah.
No.
But the Digger?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that looks so good. Tom Cruise is back to his actor.
No, wait, okay, wait. We saw it, so we went to see Supergirl, and a terrible movie, by the way, awful.
Wow. Recommendation.
But there was like a 10-minute Tom Cruise like tribute trailer of that movie, and we were like, I wonder if they're about to have like a Tom Cruise month, and they're just going to play Tom Cruise movies at the AMC. No,
I would've
it
walked
was
out.
it was a prelude to the trailer for that, so we had to watch like 10 minutes of
That's a lot.
Tom Cruise praise.
I don't even watch Tom Cruise movies.
There-
That's terrible.
no, I will tell
would
you
sue them.
specifically. I will tell you specifically which movies of Tom Cruise to watch. Jerry Maguire, The Firm, definitely. But then watch Magnolia.
Yeah,
Not Steel
Magnolia.
Magnolia.
I did see that
He's
one.
got a lot of great
Damn.
movies. Y'all, nobody can hate on his
Tropic
movies.
Thunder.
His movies are really
Hilarious.
good. Yes.
Huh? Hilarious. And
I
this
think-
the Digger character, I think it's going to be another one that you're going to have to watch. Also, Made in America. Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
Made in America. The one about him being a smuggling pilot.
Oh yeah.
5 years ago.
I've
Oh, he's really
only
really-
seen War of the Worlds and Magnolia. I really don't watch movies with him. I really try not to watch anything with him. And
Interview with
They-
Vampires is a good
You have to
movie.
pick and choose.
It's-
Oh, it is
I might have to watch that though. Yeah,
It is
I
good.
might
What
have
about that
to.
movie he did before Top Gun? You know, he was a bartender. That was quite
Cocktail?
Cocktail.
Cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Too
was
much.
good.
Nah.
He was good and Far and Away.
Oh no,
I wish
She
he
was
was
far
far
away.
it was terrible.
He had a great
He was-
Irish accent. I thought
He-
he was Irish. Are you kidding?
God, I was hoping he would go far and away. Jesus.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I was just saying.
Mhm.
And the
I
chemistry
really like
between him
him
and
in
Nicole
Cats.
Kidman was on fire.
Yeah. And that racing movie when they were in that together, whatever that
Oh,
was.
Days of
Days of
Thunder.
Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Days of
Days of
Thunder.
Thunder.
Yeah.
And then he did that really bad pool movie.
No, but it is about
The
a
Color of Money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Color Money. Yeah.
There's just so
Oh.
many.
I think I saw Cocktail. I'm pretty sure.
It was back in the 90s, 80s, 90s,
80s,
80s.
80s.
I did notice when he came out for the World Cup, they did put him on a little stage by himself. Like, of course,
Yeah.
he's short guy. You gotta have that.
Well, you
Gotta
see,
put him
you
up.
can't hate Tom Cruise too much if he commands the conversation like this, and we're not discussing any of his movies today.
Hmm.
No.
Hmm.
I
Eh,
give Tom
he's a
Cruise the biggest
Scientologist.
credit for saving movies because I guess he was when he was pushing for Maverick and stuff. He was he really helped, I guess, save the studio stuff. So
He did.
it's
He did.
Yeah, because
That
it
was
had
a-
to be in a movie.
movie
He
did.
wouldn't
He
do it
sh-
Mm.
He
streaming.
showed
It
up
had
at
to
a-
be at a theater.
Yeah, he showed up at a lot of premieres and was acknowledged at a lot of premieres before Maverick came out.
Yeah.
So and plus he turned up at a lot of concerts, like a Jackson concert and everything. So he pounded the pavement. He did his work.
Yeah.
They wanted him to stream that movie, and he said no, absolutely not.
Because that was made. I think it took 2 years before it came to this. It was finished 2 years prior to when it hit the screen, because just when it finished, COVID hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he paid for it himself out of all those bad movies he made.
Anyway,
he's why Zach and I are joining the Church of Scientology.
Goodbye, cancel.
That's not even funny.
No, say they so. Say they
Didn't
so.
someone just join the
Scientology
recently?
We'll make a vlog about it. Y'all
Okay, great.
I'll see how it goes.
You
Have you all
guys,
seen
John
that?
Travolta.
Have you seen that SNL skit on Scientology, the song they made?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna dig it up. It's fantastic. It was so funny.
Alistair, I couldn't hear what you just said about joining something.
Oh,
Scientology.
They have the application in the interviews, but it says next week.
I was joking about joining the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, they're joking about.
I figured that much. Yeah.
Next week they're gonna sit here with like their suits, and they're gonna tell us how they're joined, and they have their
I
Bible.
don't
in
think
their
anyone, I
hand.
don't see how people can afford to join Scientology.
He's
It's a lot of money.
He's
You
the
have to pay
skit
money
for
for
SNL on the link if you want to check it out.
Okay.
You give them all your money, period.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
why
like when
Tom
he was
Cruise makes so
interviewing for
many
the
movies.
mother of his baby.
I mean, it ruined all of his shit, right? Because Nicole Kidman, she basically had to leave her kids behind in Scientology because they were so programmed by it. And then Katie Holmes did a whole bunk. She like ran away, you know.
Katie Holmes did.
Remember when she got divorced and like she went to New York while he was filming a movie. She got in touch with her daddy. They had her divorce done in a fucking week.
Yeah.
She had her shit.
So fast.
It was crazy.
He was filming the space movie Oblivion.
War of the
I
World?
think it was. No, Oblivion.
Oblivion. Okay.
Oh, the Emily
Yeah.
Blunt.
He was filming that. He was filming that, and she waited. I mean, because she was doing because she was constantly being watched, constantly being monitored. And she had someone give her a burner phone, and that's how she kept in contact with her father. And they did everything, and then she just waited until he was out of the country, and she's like, "Let's go, we're dropping the hammer."
I need a movie about that. I need somebody.
Oh
to
my
God!
Well, he interviewed Scarlett Johansson, and he was telling her what he want, or they were telling. He wasn't. They were telling that we want you to meet Tom, and this is what we want. And we'll give you so much money for this. And she said, "Get the fuck out of here!" She got up and left. She's like, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You must be crazy."
John, who's the puppy? Introduce us to your puppy.
I know.
Oh, this is Charlie. This is Charlie.
He's been on.
Yeah,
he's been on before. Yeah,
on every live.
First time I saw it.
With this little
Reminds me of
mohawk.
Benji. That's dog Benji.
Does anybody else have any thoughts about Flesh? And how much
I
you
thought
love
he
it?
was pretty to look at.
I'll finish that one
naked.
eventually.
He was naked, and he looked good.
And like the opening scene, you just see him like full on naked.
I'm like, holy crap!
Hard on. I was like, what?
Holy crap!
Yeah.
He
Hey,
was like,
I don't think it was hard.
Wasn't it hard after he
Initially.
like was rubbing on her? And
Yeah,
then he
initially he
around?
was.
Yeah, he was hard.
I think
He
it
was
was.
hard.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah, he
right
was-
up against his stomach.
Yeah.
And then it went down.
Oh.
And did
As
a
they do.
couple cuts.
And then she
later.
wrapped it up. Wasn't it fun?
And then she wrapped
Yeah.
it up.
They have cute interplay.
I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be like when I was watching it, I was waiting because I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be like a deep throat, like an actual like a porn. That
Yeah, like a deep throat.
Right, yeah.
And so I was waiting for an
Like a
actual
top
sex
porn.
scene because I knew that he like did porn.
This
at
came
some
out
point.
wrong,
So this
Zach,
is what I
honestly.
thought it was. Yeah.
Well, it's the same era when Deep Throat's made, or maybe earlier.
Roughly.
Yeah, a few years earlier.
Okay.
Now, somebody or someplace I read said that the actual the laundromat scene, or not laundromat, but beauty parlor scene where he's getting a blowjob, that was real, that was actually happening. Do you know? Have you
Wouldn't be
come
surprised.
across anything about that, Zach? If that was actually a real,
I wouldn't.
they
I
really
wouldn't
did
be
that.
surprised.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
mean,
the
like, there's not
outrageous thing that happened.
there wasn't
I was
any
wondering in my
contract
private
anything.
Idaho, in the scene where he's getting the beginning when he's getting the blowjob, if in real life that River Phoenix wasn't stroking off himself. That just seemed a little too real. The acting
It's
part of
called
that.
acting.
He was a very talented
Anson. It's
actor.
acting.
Yeah, but I can fake that. That was too
Dominic,
well
don't
faked.
forget the method acting that River was in.
Yes.
He's a method actor.
There are some people, honestly, there are some actors who are very good at portraying an orgasm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, honestly.
What's the best?
Sorry, it's
What's
true.
the best orgasm that you've seen, Dominic?
Looking, I feel like Looking was a good one. There was a scene between Jonathan Groff and Russell Tovey where they're having sex in season 2, and their orgasm phase are very, even the way they're shaking, it's very realistic.
Yeah,
it can be
But
done.
I don't know.
Maybe they actually had sex. I don't want to say anything.
I'm just like, I'm trying to think about like an O face, and I feel like mine is probably just like, I don't know. I think I just breathe heavy, but I'm not like, I don't know. You see people in
That
movies
also,
and they've
everybody
got like
has
this
a different
whole
orgasm, right?
this
Not
whole
everybody's
face
going
twist.
crazy or something.
Yeah.
If you ever watch Will and Grace, and Molly Shannon was on there, and she was having sex
Yeah,
in her
the
shoulder.
elevator.
There was
was
this
a
movie
good
called Love, where the first scene is of the guy having an orgasm, and it's pretty much uncut and it's shown, uh, from beginning to end. I think that was probably the most realistic O face because he actually had an
But it wasn't
orgasm on
actually,
the screen.
like, it was realistic because it
Yeah, it
was
was
real.
shown. It was shown. It was him and the girl, and
it was
the whole
real.
thing
The
was-
line
yeah.
when Harry met
You
Sally,
also-
that was
Yeah, I
so
was gonna say, were
realistic.
you waiting for When Harry Met Sally?
Yeah.
Have you all seen the movie Nymphomaniac?
Yeah, well, the
Nymphomaniac,
posters
yeah,
for
but
that
that
too, right? The posters are
Oh yeah.
are
Oh my God,
all
Nymphomaniac.
O-faces.
That is such a fucked up movie. Oh my God.
Crazy.
I couldn't go through. I
When
could only do part
when
one.
she gets the abortion, I was like, why do I have to watch this? Like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't need to
couldn't.
see everything. Or the
Adding it to the
flogging
wheel.
scene. The flogging scene was also crazy.
Okay.
Like, I still remember that
and
shit. That says something.
It's,
That stuck with me.
it was a lot.
Dancer in
It
the
was a
Dark
lot.
was a fucked up movie. That was the most painful movie I've ever
Well, and I think
watched.
that movie came after. That came after Melancholia, right? And he did
Melancholia
such a good
is
job with
before.
Melancholia. Melancholia was amazing, but then he goes, well, "Oh, it was before."
Yeah, I think that's in the
What
Dark.
was before? Nymphomaniac
Well,
was after. Wasn't
Which
it after?
was
Melancholia
which
was
was-
2012.
was it 2012?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Dancer in the Dark is 2000, like way before he was the first.
Oh, Dance in the Dark. Okay, I thought.
Well,
Was it-
Melancholia is
was like
fantastic.
Was it Greed, the Michael Fassbender movie about sex addiction?
Shame.
Huh?
Shame.
Yeah, Shame.
Also a great
Shame.
movie.
Okay, Shame.
Great movie.
Greed was one about the hunger strike.
Oh,
I think, yeah. It was a trio of movies that he did at
There was one called
Oh,
Romancing
Hunger.
the Bone.
You mean Hunger?
Hunger.
Isn't it called Hunger? The one
Is it
where-
Hunger
where
or
he's
Greed?
like- it's
No,
Hunger.
okay, Hunger. Okay. I got my synonyms mixed up.
I guess nobody saw that one.
Hunger?
No, Romancing the Bone
Oh, romance. No, that's something different.
instead of Stone. Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
well,
Got it.
and Ian said as well that the music for Flush was similar to My Own Private Idaho, which
There was
I didn't-
music?
There was music? Yeah,
Was there music?
It's kind of there.
Yes, there was
I just
music.
watched
Yeah,
it.
there's
I have no
music.
idea. Was there music?
There's
There was a little soundtrack underneath it. Yeah.
But there was no banjo music like in Silkwood when they were going to Texas.
Too bad. Imagine that scene when he was posing for the guy with who takes pictures of him, and then you have that music. That would have been a
Yeah.
highlight. Man.
That was a long fucking scene too. Like,
Yeah.
just the posing like took forever, man. I don't know. We do have the wheel ready to go. Anybody want to add anything to it?
Yes, I
before we
want to
finish?
add Nobody's Fool from 1994.
Oh my God, I love that
Yeah.
movie so
Same.
much.
Yes. Yes.
Hey,
Paul
before
Newman.
we add anything, Ian or whoever is in UK, there's a movie that I keep talking about, On the Seas, coming up. I think it's being screened in UK, and I'm hoping that they're going to be screening.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that
What
advertised.
the fuck was that? See,
Oh,
I
wait,
told you,
Dominic.
What's the comedy I was going to talk
Or
about?
like somebody just hit
Yeah, that was a
the
shotgun.
What movie in the UK?
On the Sea, it's like,
Oh.
it's like, Ensign, you mentioned the movie before.
No, it's gay people.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a shot.
Which movie you talked about before? There was good ending.
In God's
Dom.
country.
Oh, God's Country.
It's like the
God's-
God's Country version, but in the sea.
Oh.
Muriel's
Nice.
Wedding, isn't that an Australian
Did
movie,
anybody
Chris?
say, "Oh brother,
Hey.
where art thou"? Did
Oh
anyone
yeah,
say?
that's a good one.
Is it on the list?
Which one?
Oh brother, where art
Oh
thou?
shit!
Oh, that's a good movie.
That's
Yeah, how
good,
did we
yeah.
not have that one on there?
That
Okay,
was the
good.
movie that made me. I actually bought the soundtrack, and I don't like country music that
Oh,
much, but this one I
incredible.
like.
Oh, I get gay just thinking about it.
That's
Yeah.
Hey,
Tim.
Zach, did you pick
That's
up the
Tim's
stuff from the
movie.
Discord yet?
Yeah,
Or
that's Tim's
Not any
movie.
recent stuff, no.
What
So
was
go
the
ahead and
comedy?
find out.
Because there's some stuff on here. There's Looking for Mr. Goodbar. Was that
Oh
already
God,
on there?
I can't do that movie again.
That means there must be a good movie.
That was your message. Were you not meaning to recommend that? You were talking about it on there. So.
No, that was one I saw it
So
once.
you
And
did-
I can never see it ever again. It
Oh,
was
okay. So
yeah,
I
it
guess
was-
scratch that. I didn't realize that wasn't a
That's-
recommendation.
that is definitely will be
Well,
a
I've never
depressing
seen
movie
it.
night.
Why is that bad? Is it a bad movie?
It's just the ending. It doesn't ruin the whole movie, but it's horribly depressing.
Shawshank Redemption.
I think we have that on here.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Dominic, that's the one with Paul Newman, right? Nobody's Fool.
Yeah, and Jessica
I-
Tandy.
I
Melanie
love
Griffith.
that movie.
Oh, it's a great cast.
There was
So Zach, we got Fences from
Fences.
2016.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's good. That's
Y tu
what
mamá también.
The History of Sound.
Yeah.
There's a comedy that I had in mind, and I can't remember what it is now.
Muriel's Wedding.
I love that.
Love
movie.
Muriel's Wedding.
That's a good one.
Stop the Train, we have.
Oh, got it. As you said that, I just remember what it is. Not Stop the Train, but Throw Mama from the Train.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a
Throw Mama
great
from
movie.
the Train.
Oh,
I
that
want
was
to see
a
that
great-
again.
Yes. Yes.
Reflections in a Golden Eye. Brando.
Oh, I've
film
never
from
seen that.
67.
How many can you
Anson
put in this damn
suggested.
thing?
Have you not seen The Wheel? It's
No.
just
I've seen it
It's
once.
huge.
I'm gonna add Clute on there. Somebody mentioned Clute, and
I
that was a
did.
good one.
Oh, it's a good
Ooh,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is-
yes.
please add Throw Mama from the Train.
Zach,
I got it on here. I got you.
Gotcha.
Zach,
What was
do
the
you
one
have
you were
thoughts?
looking for, Zach? You said there was one called Zillion or Zillion or something.
Oblivion.
No. This is something you said.
Pillion.
Maybe
Pillion.
one of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's already on here. We've got that.
Is
on
it?
here.
Yeah.
I just remember
The
you saying
chorus?
that.
What,
That
I
should
got
be
one
coming up.
request.
The chorus is on there.
I got one request.
Is it on there already?
Well, I remember mentioning it about a
When
week
that,
ago.
when that pops up, we'll
No,
know.
we're not gonna know what it is.
Hey, Zach, I got a
Oh,
request.
one second. Hold on. I got two more. I'm adding to real quick. Two.
Well, we're adding Y tu mamá también, but he put.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Love that.
good one. Oh, love that
Okay,
movie.
what were you saying?
Do you have Torch Song Trilogy on there?
Torch Song Trilogy. I do
The
not.
first time I heard of that
Song
movie, I thought it
trilogy.
was actually a trilogy, but it's
That
not.
You're right.
It's not.
That's
That version?
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Harry Firestein.
Hmm.
Yep. Harvey Weinstein was amazing. In that
Okay,
film.
we've got here. We need one more because I think 70 is a good number. So let's get one more option.
Jesus.
on there.
69 is a good number.
Do you have Speed Racer on there? That was in
Eraser?
the Discord. Yeah.
Has
Eraser's on
anyone
there.
seen The Boy Who Could Fly?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, 100 years ago. Yeah.
Cried.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cried.
My Little Vampire.
The Little Vampire.
The Little Vampire.
I don't want to watch a kids movie.
Do we have the original Hairspray on there? The original one
Oh, that is good. Yeah, that would be
What
good.
original one? When was that?
Hercules?
from 1988 with Ricky Lake.
1988.
and
The
Devine.
original John Waters.
John the John Waters
With
movie.
Oh my God.
Divine in
Ricky,
it.
isn't it Ricky
Mhm.
Lake?
Stereo
who plays
Mom.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Ricky
Ricky
Lake and
Lake,
Divine.
yeah.
Lake and Divine and
And
Little
Divine. Yeah.
Crowd.
Okay. All right. So we've got our picks. We're gonna do 3 of them.
Really?
Yes. We're gonna do 3 because I feel like we did good with 3 this time.
We did good with 3 this time. Yeah.
Oh, Serial
Okay.
Mom is also a good
Everybody
one.
ready? Are we excited?
I know. Let's
Yeah.
Serial Mom.
Oh my
It's such a
God.
great
Can
movie.
you see anything from there?
It's like a kaleidoscope.
I don't think I can see anything.
It'll pop up on the top. Okay, we can't see the top.
You need to
What is
lower
it?
Collective.
Collective.
Okay.
Collective,
Never
and
heard
that could be.
The fuck is that?
It could be misspelled, so I'm gonna.
So is it,
Oh, great.
are you taking it out or are you leaving it in?
No, I'm leaving it in. If
Collective.
anybody, if
information
that
what
was
that
your
is.
pick and you are here, let
Who's
us
pick?
know.
Okay, yeah.
Collective.
Collective.
Next.
Okay.
There's a documentary thriller called Collective with an E in 2019.
The Dead
The
Girl.
Dead
Dead
Girl.
Girl.
Oh, get ready to be depressed.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's the Brittany Murphy one, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's also got Toni Collette, which is like Muriel's
Oh,
wedding.
I
They're
love her.
basically the
Yeah,
same.
she's also in that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one where she goes,
It is.
"You are
Well,
what
Australian
I
did
never
it.
tell."
Rose
No,
Byrne
that's
in
the
it?
game.
Got Rose Byrne in it.
Yeah, Rose Byrne, James Franco.
Let's see.
Oh, no James Franco.
No.
Hey, Jane Franco is still good. Come on, don't cancel him.
He's already canceled.
Bridges
Oh,
of Madison
there we
County.
go.
Why don't you just
We
gas me
just
now
watched
and get
Meryl
it over
Streep.
with?
We did not watch The Bridges
I
of
don't think I've
Madison
seen any of
County.
these films, so they'll all be new to me.
Oh, it is
I,
such
I
I,
love-
I believe
love
every
that
single
movie.
Another
movie
Streep
night needs to have a Meryl
classic.
Streep.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
Surprisingly, and
This is-
surprisingly well
this is
directed
gonna-
by Clint Eastwood.
This is going to be a depressing combination of movies. It looks like.
It
Sounds like,
will.
so.
It will. Let's do one more spin for a backup, just in case we can't figure out Collective, because I want to make
Okay.
sure we get the.
Do we have
Is it the
Hunter
thriller?
on
Just a
it?
minute.
Yeah,
we have it.
it's a.
Is
it's
it
a
the thriller? The
documentary.
2019 thriller?
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. It's a
Well, oh, actually, if I look on my notes app, I can probably see who picked it.
because 2015 Collective, they don't even add the E to it.
2050.
2015? Oh,
2019 was the other one, wasn't it?
Well,
So
now I'm
whoever
confused.
Yeah, whoever picked 9 Days and Shiva Baby, I think picked Collective.
Oh shit, I picked
That
this.
was okay, but those are the 3. Okay, so we've got Collective, we've got The Bridges of Madison County, and the Dead Girl. So, whichever order you watch these in is your own choice. I think
What was the last movie?
Bridges of
Bridges.
Madison
Bridges.
County, The Dead Girl, and Collective. Is this Collective
Got it.
look happy or does it
Got
look
Yeah, I was gonna say,
No.
what is collective?
it's about the
the
nightclub. I think it's about the fire nightclub in 2015.
Does not
Yeah,
sound
just-
happy.
Fire.
well?
This is
It's gonna be very depressing movie.
it's gonna be somber faces next month.
Well, there's gonna be no more.
Seeing a therapist.
Let's add Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Okay.
Do
so
we
we're gonna
have
wrap-
Death Becomes Her on it?
Oh shit!
nice.
Let's add that. Wait, everybody, yeah, let's throw in some Meryl picks so that we can hopefully get like a Meryl movie every time.
Death Becomes Her, definitely.
Yeah.
What's that movie? She was a nun.
Isn't she in Out of Africa?
Doubt.
Oh, that was a
Doubt.
Out of
She's
Africa.
good in that. Yeah, Doubt. That's really good.
But
That's
that's
Oh,
like
very
also
good.
depressing.
A
The River
dingo
Wild.
ate my
Interesting.
baby. A dingo ate my baby.
Isn't that a
The
cry in
River
the
Wild.
dark?
Ooh, Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh yeah. That's
Tears.
versus Kramer.
Sophie's
Oh,
choice, right?
many.
Let's just go full on.
A
in.
River Wild
Yes,
would be-
yes. Julie
Oh,
and
I love the
Julia.
River Wild.
Julie and Julia
River
was
Wild's
awesome.
great.
Yeah, that
she
was
has
good.
to make
Julia's good,
his
yeah.
choice.
Sophie's Choice is on there already.
Oh, okay, it's on.
She was
Imagine
so
if we would
Cruella
have got
de
Sophie's
Vil.
Choice for this next month.
That'll
too.
give me an
That would've been
excuse to
nice.
watch that.
What, Cruella
Okay.
de Vil?
So we've got, we've got enough of them right now. Okay, so
No Mamma Mia.
those,
Or
those
100
are fun, but like I don't know if
No,
there's much to
101
talk about.
Dalmatians.
I think Alistair would agree with me with this one. No.
Oh,
She
She Devil.
loves
She
Mamma
Devil
Mia.
is
Well,
good too.
I thought you don't like
Not true,
musicals.
but it's also I
Does
really
it?
like Mamma Mia 2.
Mhm.
Mamma Mia 1 gives me a headache.
Why?
We went to Mamma Mia too because we had nothing to
I mean-
do, and we liked it.
We had
Pierce
it was when
Brosnan
we
is
had
giving
movie
me a
pass,
headache,
so
but-
we were just seeing all the movies that we could, and we ended up at the theater to see Mamma
The
Mia
only thing
2.
about Mamma Mia was Pierce Brosnan singing. That's
Yeah.
true.
Ah, jeez.
My God.
It was
Shut the
a
fuck
great
up.
movie, and if you don't like Mamma Mia 2, you don't like fun. And that's
I mean, I just
probably
sang
why
all the
we are
fucking
watching
songs.
The Dead Girl with
That's a
Ollie.
bold
I actually
statement.
did like Mamma Mia. I didn't see Mamma Mia 2.
I have
Me
not
either.
seen that
Oops.
either.
I think I
I
was
have not seen Mamma Mia 2.
Trying to think of what I
it's
need to
even
do.
better
Okay.
than Mamma Mia 1.
We should put
It's
Chicago
okay.
on there.
What
We
I
should
need
put
to stay awake during this gassy ass Clint Eastwood shit.
Cher
Jeez,
and
oh,
Cher,
Pete.
Cher and
Oh,
Cher
wait,
was in Mamma Mia
speaking of him,
too.
I'm going to add
Chicago.
Million Dollar Baby. Million Dollar Baby is
Oh,
one of my
Million
favorite
Oh,
Dollar Baby.
movies
yeah.
ever.
Ooh.
You got
Well,
a
maybe you
million
should
dollar
add
baby.
Mask too.
We'll do
We're
Mask.
just talking about Mask. So maybe.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Mask with Cher.
Oh.
It's a good movie.
Ian make a good point. Ricky, dive here, your choice. what movie do you want?
What?
Yeah.
Add Agnes of God, Jane Fonda,
Mm.
and
Oh,
Van
come
Croft,
on.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, oh,
and
Pete, what are you
and
guys doing
Meg
to me
Tilly.
here?
Speaking
Heck,
of
the turning
yay.
point. The
Speaking
turning
of Anne
point.
Bancroft, there's what's that movie called? How to Make an American Quilt. I mean, that's the shit I grew up with. Like, come on. So,
Okay, so we've got our picks. We've got extra stuff
Okay.
on there.
We
Perfect.
do.
We're good to go.
All right.
Wasn't Marilyn the French lieutenant's woman? Was that
French
Marilyn?
Lieutenant's
Yeah, but
woman.
she was a minor. I think she was like a supporting part in that.
I wish I remember my parents going to see that, and they shuffled me into a kids movie.
That's more
And
Jeremy Irons movie than a Meryl Streep movie.
Gotcha.
Has anyone seen Odyssey yet?
Not yet.
Which one?
Odyssey? Anyone got to
The
see
Odyssey.
Oh no,
Odyssey.
no.
Oh, the Odyssey.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it.
Hopefully by
I'm
the
seeing it on
time we
Monday.
see it. Yeah.
I'll
yeah,
see it on
next week. I
Monday
want to see it next
on
week.
Yeah.
IMAX.
Somebody
Monday's my
else,
day off, so I'll see it on Monday morning.
somebody
Are you
else talking
watching
to
it
said
on IMAX
it's
70, IMAX digital, IMAX whatever? There's so many different IMAX.
In Germany,
Well,
there's
IMAX 70 is like
whatever it
sold out
is.
forever for anywhere near us.
You guys actually, I was going to say that in Dallas, you guys actually have a true 70 millimeter IMAX
It's
Cinema
sold out.
Mark or
Every
something.
single screening is sold out.
yeah,
That's
until
incredible.
September,
Same
right?
thing in
yes,
North
I think it was
America.
Joe who said September. Yeah.
Yeah, because I
That's
was
why you
looking at
should-
like the 25 cities, and I was like, oh, Zach and Alistair have one in Dallas. It's like, fortunate we have none here. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Just come to
Yeah, we just
Australia.
have
Come to
regular
Melbourne.
IMAX here.
Come to Melbourne, you can see it.
Sure.
I'll
I
be
would
there
love
in
to
3
if I could
weeks.
handle
Fly
that
to
long.
Melbourne
Yes.
for the Odyssey.
Yes,
I'll
I
be
get to
there.
meet John. Finally, John's
I'll be
coming to
there.
Melbourne.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll be there in three and a half weeks.
Awesome.
Nice.
Almost didn't make it because
Oh,
I
really?
had to get my I had to get my ETA visa, and you have to get that out a month out, and I completely spaced.
Really? We have an ETA? I didn't know
You
that
have
we
an
had
ETA.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
John,
And
get
so
ready
I
for
had to
one
get
heck
it.
of a flight.
Yeah.
I just got
It's
off.
my
I just got
Yeah,
off a
it's-
14-hour flight. It changes your life.
Nope.
It changes your
Just when you get
I've been
when
there.
you get on the
Yeah, I've been
plane,
there 3
just
times, so it's good.
Okay,
It's not
cool.
that bad. Are you
you
flying
get on the
by LA?
plane. The first thing that you do is ask
Flying
your
from LA.
stewardess. Ask your stewardess where the shitter is. They love that. Do I have
Make
a
sure you
seat by the
sit
shitter?
Sit as far away from that thing as possible because people will use it and you will have to suffer through that.
Not me.
It
I would
doesn't
say
matter if
turn
you're
the
in
plane
first
around and
class or
go
where you
home.
are.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you all should come to Melbourne. It's an amazing city.
Maybe during the next lockdown, right?
Next lockdown,
Please, no.
or we're already planning the next lockdown.
Yeah. If we just get
But
all
aren't
done
you guys?
with
You guys have a pandemic of bloody viruses to make you shit like a violent storm, isn't it?
It's just lettuce.
Explosive.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
Lettuce.
never craved salad so much in my life.
Same.
yeah, at this point,
Explosive
no,
diarrhea.
nobody wants salad.
Never had would I thought of. I would have heard explosive diarrhea so much on TV and the news.
Well,
Explosive.
I just think it's sad that I have survived cancer. I have survived probably 50 colonoscopies. I've survived 2 transplants. I have a pacemaker, and I'm going to get taken out by a fucking
And
Hitler.
lettuce.
Well, what I found was so funny about it was when they were like, "Oh, all the tainted lettuce is at Taco Bell." I'm like, Well, don't already people have explosive diarrhea from Taco Bell?
Exactly.
That's why
How
we
do you
always have
know?
Taco Bell.
But Mike, are you seeing an influx of patient coming in just because they're having explosive diarrhea?
Not at all. And the day it happens, I'm going home sick.
So it's fake. So it's fake news.
No, why would you go to the hospital with explosive diarrhea? I've
Made
had
by
that a
the
million
lame
times.
You'd be
social
amazed.
media.
Mess up somebody else's house. That's what. That's why.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's life-threatening if you lose too much water, right? If you have too
Yeah.
much.
I
You
mean,
get dehydrated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
why not be
throws off
drinking
your
just straight
electrolytes.
water at the same
Well,
time?
exactly.
But that makes it even worse with the explosiveness because just
If I get taken out that way, then it was God's will, and
Bottom line.
I'll be dead, and I don't care, do I?
Well, I've
That's
seen people
bottom
trying to
line.
get
that
it.
is true.
Trying to get it?
Yeah,
Trying to
they're-
get it?
yeah,
Oh,
they
God,
gotta
no.
lose a couple pounds,
We've got
so they're
screw
putting-
Yes.
and-
Yes.
It's like,
I wouldn't put it past anyone.
Alistair,
Emily-
get those insurance things in a row. Get them ready.
Emily Blunt's line in the original Devil Wears Prada. I'm one stomach flu away from my ideal weight.
But I have to say, every time I have a stomach flu or whatever, it works 5 kilos off straight away. It is
Yeah.
so
That is true.
It clears you
Every
out.
time? How often did this happen to you? I had this one time in my entire life. Please, never again.
Because they're
I
on
don't
the-
think it's the. I don't think it's the lettuce, Chris.
when you live long enough for 50-year-old, you have a few
Yeah.
episodes.
Mm.
All right,
All right.
gentlemen. I have to
We're
piss
gonna
like a
end it
racehorse,
here.
so I need to go.
Yes. Good night,
Guys.
everybody. Thank you
have
for
a great
joining
night.
this movie.
Eric, I
This
need
is
to talk to
great.
you on Discord if you have a minute.
Okay.
See you tomorrow, Alistair. Oh wait.
Go and
No.
see the principal, Eric.
Till Friday.